Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, all you people. Hey, all you people. Hey, all you people, won't you listen to me? I just read this series, an extraordinary series, the best anime series of the best manga series of the sea. I said it's skippy yeah. And that's all, folks. We got Kai in the chat. We got Kuribo in the chat. What's up? What's up? How we doing? Let me turn on the light. I feel like it's like dark in here. Okay. There we go. Much better. He said, "Are you talking about Black Clover?" No. Kuribo, are you crazy? No disrespect to the series, but have I ever spoken highly about Black Clover? No. Alright. Saturday morning. It's 8:30. How are you guys doing? Serious question. How are you guys doing? It's been about 5 to 7 days since the last live, I think. 5 to 7 days. How are you guys doing? What are the new developments in life? Have we reached any of our goals, any of our projects? Is anyone moving? Anyone get a new job? New girlfriend? Married, maybe? This guy, yeah. What's going on with y'all? We got Luna Ursa in the chat. What's good? She says, Kimimaro is either Jonin level or Kage level, able to box with KCM Naruto and probably relative to Heavy Sasuke, or probably relative to Heavy Series Sasuke, Heavy SSS. Heavy SSS. Oh, just Heavy Sasuke. Now that's just your skin tone. Kai. I don't got time for this morning. What you mean by that? Just my skin tone. What you mean by that? I'm a beautiful brown. Okay? Now, about this Kimimaro fellow. It's funny because me and Kuribo are like talking in Twitter DMs. Because I was just curious. I'll show you guys. Why not? We're going to eventually go to Twitter anyway, I think. It's TikTok. Oh yeah, Kuribo's always giving me good like videos to maybe watch on stream and stuff, so I do appreciate that. But we were talking about Kimimaro versus like Darui. Hold up, where that's yeah. We were talking about Kimimaro versus Darui because y'all know I'm like, so first off, real quick, the Kimimaro video is basically finished. I just have to record, do the voiceover, and send someone that bread to get it, edited and stuff like that. Although with this video, I can probably edit it myself. There's not too much craziness. It's like I said, though, it's just like time, convenience. If I send it to someone, it gets done and completed. I don't gotta worry about it. I can focus on to the next thing. So yeah, that video's done. A lot of good things in that video, in my opinion. A lot of things people don't touch on. Some new not IRL, but like I guess the way I go about it is interesting to me, at least. I hope you guys enjoy it. It'll be kind of cool because we kind of get into like the meta scaling of it, the fight between him, Gata, Lee, and kind of where all these guys would stack up. It's a lot of lore in there. It's a lot of statement based things in there. But like for certain cases, I don't mind statement based things just because it's like it kind of builds on what we're getting to. I don't use any of it for like direct scaling, but it's nice to know. It's nice to see what these characters think about X character. So that's very cool. But yes, getting back into what I was just saying with me and Kuribo, one smart. So I asked him, I was like, whoa. Yeah. So I was like, do you think Darui could beat Kimimaro? Because I'm genuinely curious where he thinks Kimimaro stacks up in the hierarchy of like Naruto scaling. He says Darui definitely beat Kimimaro. And I thought about it for a minute. I was like, he said definitely. And I like, mind you, I'm making the video. Because like when you do the scaling for something, like when you like go through all the steps to get all the information, put it in context, do the scaling, see where people match up. In my head, I'm like, definitely? It's definitely not a definitely. It's necessarily not a definitely. I don't see that happening. So I'm like, no, I'm not seeing it. Kuribo says, hardened bones won't save him from getting zapped. True, fair enough. But I don't think getting zapped would put him down. To be honest with you, getting zapped isn't going to put someone like Kimimaro down. He says, Darui can even water style to enhance his lightning style even further. Kimimaro's early opponents were Gata, Lee, who both focus on physical crushing the opponent. Darui's can, but doesn't have break Kimimaro's bones. This is only focusing on Jonin Darui, by the way. I agree. I wouldn't be introducing Kage Darui or anything else. I don't even think Kage Darui has any good feats or scaling. Him making Momo run is not impressive. So Kage Darui has no feats or scaling. So yes, we would only be using Jonin Darui. As far as I didn't respond to it, but as far as like enhancing his water with lightning style, just presumes Kimimaro is just going to sit there and get hit by water jutsu and then on lightning jutsu on top of that. It can happen though. Sure, it can happen. What? Right. So I say with Kimimaro's durability, which I spelled completely wrong here, and Kuribo didn't even tell me that. What a bad friend. What a bad friend. D-U-R-A. With Kimimaro's durability, which is honestly top 3 in the verse, and we're going to get into that. Kimimaro's durability, which is top 3 in the verse, I just don't see non-piercing lightning jutsu being effective. Listen, Double Black Panther is cool. Kishimoto had a chance to make Darui really, really, really badass with that Black Panther, Double Black Panther. He had a chance to really make Darui one of them guys. Darui has fallen to the wayside, at least for me. I ain't fucking with him. It's cool though, But I really just don't think jutsu like this are going to be enough. They're not like, even looking at this gift, and we'll get into the actual panel, none of the Zetsus are being vaporized. None of them are being like charred. None of there's not a high degree of damage going on. And yes, like crushing versus zapping is 2 different levels or 2 different attacks in general. I can grant that. My thing is this. When we analyze Kimimaro's feats, I really do not think this level of lightning style is going to cut it. I don't think it's going to matter. Does anyone think this is beating out like a Chidori, a Raikiri? I don't think. I mean, the volume itself is not right. But anyways, and it was on the water, so it was an enhanced lightning style jutsu because it was on the water. I don't even know. Kuribo says Kimimoto's durability is definitely not top 3. Oof. Kuribo, don't do it to me, bro. Kimimoto's durability is definitely not top 3. Lightning doesn't have to pierce in order to electrocute. I agree. Electrocute someone. I agree. Kimimoto's flesh can still be fried. Gata had him looking like Jonah Hex or Two-Face for a moment. Drunkenly already had his bones cracking. Okay. He said Gata had him looking like Jonah Hex or Two-Face for a moment. Okay, I don't know who Jonah Hex is, but I get the Two-Face reference, right? This is when Kimimoto got crushed and his skin was like popping off of his body, but he created an extra layer of bone underneath. Here's the problem with that though. Like I said, the Zetsus themselves did not get their skin charred or fried off, so I don't know why we would believe a stronger Kimimoto would. That's number 1. Number 2, Kimimoto's regenerative abilities are actually fucking top tier in this series. Yeah, I'm talking Hashirama level, more than likely, actually. No. Yeah, Hashirama level at the very least. From what I've seen, at least. I don't know. He said drunkenly already had his bones cracking. This is not true. I don't know where Kuribo got this from. Unless there was like an SF effects or something I missed. Lee wasn't doing a damn thing to Kimimoto's bones. No. So I say, laugh my ass off. What 5 characters have better durability showings than him? That being Kimimaro. Darui's lightning hasn't burned, charred, or fried anyone, including fodder like Zetsu. Kimimaro will be fine. Being hurt by Gata of all people is not an anti-feat or a bad thing or a bad durability showing. Lee didn't do a thing to his bones, as I stated. So these are the people that have higher durability than Kimimoto in Kuribo's opinion. A, 3rd Raikage, A, 4th Raikage, and I give it to those 2. Those are the 2 people I absolutely give it to. He says B, Tsunade, and Jugo. Now, these are interesting choices. So the most we've seen from Killer B is him no-selling a kick from Akatsuki Hebi Sasuke. That's the most we've seen from Killer B. But we also have to understand these guys weren't trying to like kill him anyway. So it's kind of hard to like tell how much was Jugo holding back, how much was Sasuke holding back. But then they're like, oh well, if we don't fight to kill him, we'll lose. But then they never really touch him after that anyway. So it's like, what are we actually talking about? So B's durability is very questionable. What we do know is that base Raikage can kind of hurt B, or they can at least hurt each other. I don't know how. I have no idea how Tsunade made this list. It's actually weird. I don't understand it. But he just responded, so maybe he has a Tsunade feat. Let me tell you about this person, Tsunade. Let me tell you about Tsunade and Sakura. I've said this before. Being able to infuse chakra in your fist and punch does not directly correlate to your durability. So if he's going to mention something about that, because I haven't read this comment yet, Kuribo, I haven't read it yet, so I don't know what you're going to say. But if it's anything along the lines of they can withstand what their punches can destroy, that is totally incorrect. When we talk about Tsunade, she is physically, right, able to be hurt by people like Kabuto. She is physically capable of being hurt by people of Hanzo's level before Hanzo. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Hanzo's level. When we talk about Tsunade, well, Orochimaru was using his sword on her, so well, no, we're not going to give her that. We're looking for durability. She's able to be hurt by Orochimaru. Yeah. I have no idea what durability feat he could be talking about as far as Tsunade is concerned. I just don't know. His last person is Jugo. Maybe, like, I'm really trying to think here, because I know the series. I know I've read the series. I know I've watched the series. What durability feat? Durability, the ability to withstand wear, pressure, or damage. What durability feat does Jugo have? Maybe Kuribo is talking about endurance. But I say the only ones I have over him are the Raikage. B's best durability feat, Tsunade's best durability feat, Jugo's best durability feat are what? Because that's what I was asking. I didn't put the question mark, but that's what I was asking. What are these people's best feat? Because Kimimaro survives Sand Coffin, which is one-shotting anyone not named A or fucking, I'm sorry, Raikage A or Raikage A again, third or fourth. It's one-shotting anyone not named those two, and that's with their lightning cloaks. No one else is just tanking Goddess Sand Coffin and walking away from it. No, sir. He says B matches A's durability. I have no idea where he's getting that from. I have no idea where you're getting that from. B matches A's durability when? Where are you getting that from? Tsunade was taking hits from Susanoo and wasn't turned into a puddle. Okay. I'm sorry. Is that supposed to be impressive? What is the Susanoo's calc scaling? What is the Susanoo's calc scaling? And Jugo were surviving Jugo was surviving A about as well. Okay, as Sasuke Susanoo. Okay. You mean the Jugo that got pierced by A while he was blocking? You mean the Jugo that got knocked into a wall and was out of the fight? Do we understand what durability is, or are we talking about endurance? Do we know the difference? Tsunade has really good endurance. Her durability is trash. Just like almost everyone else's durability is trash. Just like Naruto's durability outside of Sage Mode is trash. Naruto has high endurance. Tsunade has high endurance. These characters have high endurance. No one really had, aside from like A Raikage and A Raikage 3rd and 4th, and this is just stated that their bodies are tougher. We really don't even know what degree they are tougher. Just that they're tougher than the average person. No one outside of them, and like I said, we haven't really seen what they can do with these tough bodies, except for survive the ethereal transformation jutsu or whatever. But no one outside of them has any like good things to talk about. He says, I meant Tsunade wasn't turned into a puddle. Okay, yeah. Oh, turned into a puddle by the object only transmission. Yes, because she was continuously healing. She was literally continuously healing. And no one said she'd be turned into a puddle. They said it would rip her body apart. And she was continuously healing. How is that durability? In fact, the fact that she was continuously healing means she didn't have the durability, Kuribo. We understand this, right? We understand durability is the ability to withstand wear, pressure, damage, force, impact. She didn't withstand that stuff. She was getting hurt, torn apart by it. She only came out fine on the other side because she was healing. Okay. Now that we've addressed that, let me catch up with the chat. Now, Luna Ursa's statement of Kimimaro being Jonin or Kage level is something I'm totally in agreement with. Right? That's something I am totally in agreement with. His showings against Gaara. First off, let's acknowledge that Kimimaro fought a gauntlet. He did. He fought Naruto. He fought Lee. Then he fought Gaara. All back to back. Used energy and chakra on all of them. And debatably beat all three of them. Yes. Naruto escaped because of Lee. He almost beats Lee. Gaara saves him. He almost kills Gaara. He dies because of his sickness. In my book, that's 3 wins for Kimimaro. Had plot and circumstance not been an issue, he not outscales, my fault. Because I don't really like using that word in Naruto. It's really annoying. He's superior to Naruto. Who is that? Okay. He's superior to Naruto, and we're going to get into that because it's very interesting with like how Naruto fought Neji versus how Naruto fought Kimimaro. Both Nine Tails influence. Pretty interesting. He's superior to Naruto. He's superior to Lee, and he's superior to Gar with stage 3. Yeah. So him being him being Jonin to like Kage is not. It's not that far off, bro. It's not that far off. Him beating people like Darui, Kakatsuchi, Chojuro, not that far off. It's really not that. It's like it's not crazy to say he's beating these people. Especially after rereading it, I'm like, oh hell no, bro. Kimimaro a demon. Boy is kind of crazy. All right, let me go back up. Kai said, "Oh wait, you said it was dark on the room game." I did say it was dark on the room, and that was against my skin tone. That's funny. Okay. Kai says, "Oh, and apparently a woman sold a shitty cheesecake for a new neighbor's daughter's birthday for $50, and now she's getting clowned on social media by people who actually make cheesecakes." She sold a shitty cheesecake for a new neighbor's daughter's birthday for $50, and now she's getting clowned on social media. Okay, so is the problem that the cheesecake was $50? Is that the problem? Because I don't know how she get like that. Sounds like, how big was the cheesecake? Was it like like a full size cheesecake or just like a slice of like how big was the cheesecake? If it was for a birthday party, I'm guessing it was like a whole cheesecake. But that's interesting news. We got Shinigami in the chat. What's good, Shinigami? What's good, bro? What's up? How you doing? Finally, a live stream. Facts. Going to draw. That's what's up. Going to read my thread. Nice. I love it. Yes, we are going to look at your thread. Today. Darui should be able to beat Kimimaro. Oh, you think so, Kai? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, Darui should be able to beat Kimimaro. My question is, what's Darui's killing blow? Because I'm letting you know now, lightning style, from what I've seen from him, is not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Laser Circus is not going to be enough. Not going to cut it. That technique is actually kind of trash, actually. Aside from its speed, it's not really like a high potency attack or a high potency technique. Kishimoto had a chance to do a lot of things, but he didn't. Yeah. Kage Darui is cutting through Kimimaro like butter. I don't know. So, like, I don't know where you got that. We're not talking about Kage Darui, you know. A Chidori, yes. Kidding, no. I never saw drunkenly cracking Kimimaro's bones, only that he tried and was surprised how dense his bones were. If you're talking about a Chidori being able to get through Kimimaro, I agree with that, but at the same time I don't. I agree with that, but at the same time I don't. I'm really on the fence about it. Because there's two ways you can look at it. First off, Kimimaro can create that layer of bone underneath his skin. But when he goes into stage 2, I don't even want to spoil too much from the video. I don't want to spoil too much from the video. I don't want to spoil too much from the video. And you know what? Maybe I'll do this. I might extend that video to having Darui versus Kimimaro. Or Kimimaro versus certain people within the series. Just a quick little breakdown of why I think he would beat them. I don't know if it has to, it probably won't be a full versus. Just a quick little breakdown of why I think he would beat certain people in the series like Darui, like Chojuro, like Tsunade. How does Tsunade beat Kimimaro? How does she actually beat him? Tsunade, that is. I'll give it to Onoiki. How does the fifth Mizukage actually beat him? Come on now. Kuribo says, I meant creaking, not cracking. I don't even think that happened. Ursa says, breadth of AP is important here. People assume that there's a cumulative power creeping in the story, explained by the idea that ninja with higher ranks have the real possibility of scaling higher in stats. I agree. I agree. And it's very interesting that you bring that up because, like, the more and more I engage with Naruto fans, the more and more apparent it becomes that the presentation that I'm working on is needed. The more and more I engage with them, the more and more apparent it becomes that the presentation called chakra scaling is needed. Before we get into Shinigami's thread, I'm gonna play some videos on TikTok. I'm not gonna go over them because they're gonna be in the presentation, but I just want you guys to see what's being said out there. If you're on TikTok actively, I am for entertainment and scaling purposes, but if you're on TikTok actively, like in the scaling community, you'll see some of these things. And it's just really wild. It's just really wild the takes that people have about Naruto. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. And this is what forces me, literally forces me to talk about Naruto more than any other fucking series I cover on the channel. And that's annoying in itself because it's like, I feel like I can't even talk about the series how I'd like to because I'm too busy cleaning up shit. I'm too busy cleaning up messes and putting out fires and debunking this idea. So like, cause man, like I was supposed to be doing an Akatsuki ranking myself months ago, maybe like a year ago. But I was like, yo, there's so much wrong with Naruto scaling that if I put out a video like that, people wouldn't even understand it. Because they wouldn't understand where the fuck I'm coming from. Because the misinformation about how the series scales and its power system has been so popularized that I would sound like a coot. I would sound like a coot saying sorcery scales higher than X person or is better than X person. It would sound crazy. Be sure. Okay. Kai says, be sure. Tsunade, not really, as it's mostly her healing. Weaken Orochimaru at that. Jugo eating hits from A and B. Jugo, at least in the anime. Maybe let's go to it real quick. I don't mind. We can, you know what? Well, let me put this in order. Review manga stuff concerning Kimimaro. Shinigami's thread. And TikTok videos. Cool. So we have our agenda. We got Neo and a Matrix in the chat. Was goody, bro? Hey. We got Zach in the chat. Kimimaro versus Don Kanoji. Don Kanoji might unironically be too fast. I really have to. We got to get some Don Kanoji scaling. Because I don't remember if he fought a hollow or not. But no, I'm playing. The problem was both the price and the outcome of how she made it. The problem with the price and the outcome. Oh, okay, for the cheesecake. But the problem can't be the price because people paid for it. So people paid for it. The market is never wrong. People paid for it, so they found value in it. But hey, yo, my bro, I'm so happy right now. That's what's up. Even Seth agrees aggressively that Naruto defines strength by overall battle capabilities. Oh, does he? See, hold up. Let me come back. I'll be right back. Okay, yeah. You said even Seth aggressively defines like strengthen Naruto by overall combat capabilities. Okay, cool. So like we're the same on the matter. And like this the shit I be this the shit that be like hilarious to me, bro. Cause even on Twitter, I'll be like, yo, I'll say something. And then like months down the line, someone will finally get it and start talking about it. And they're like, oh, Ab-Stract was right. Yeah. And it's happened multiple times. I literally just saw today someone talking about souls in Naruto being chakra. Ab-Stract was on this in 2023, 2022. I can't have certain conversations if the community isn't ready. I can't even do certain scales and talk about certain things if we don't have the same understanding or if we don't know where we're both coming from. That's why it was like hard to talk to Zaz that one time, because I'm like, oh shit, man, bro. That's why it'd be hard to engage in actual debates with people, because I'm like, yo, I gotta tear down all the bullshit you think you know. And then like the hard part about that is the ego comes into play. Oh, well, stop, bro. Listen, the ego comes into play. The agenda scaling comes into play. But no, shout out to Seth, man. A lot of people don't factor that in. This is why the chakra scaling presentation is going to be so important. It's not, and the thing is this, right? It's not even going to be like important to you guys. You guys are here with me every time I stream. You guys already know what, like, you guys can probably give this presentation without actually knowing what's in it. Luna Ursa, Kai, Grid, Shinigami, Kuribo. Most of you guys could give this presentation that I'm creating without actually seeing it. This presentation that I'm going to be doing is to put it on the table, to expose it, put it out there, get it in context. Because there's a thing happening that I do not appreciate, and it's gone on long enough. I told you guys, when I get like forced, pressed, or annoyed enough to make a video, oh, I go hard. So this video is going to be like a coma. This presentation, because I think I'll make it a live. I think I'll make it a video. Like I'll record it and do a VOD and all that other stuff. But I'll also go live and we can talk about it. It's going to expose all of the issues that I've been seeing and having with the Naruto scaling over the years. All of them. We're at 30 slides right now. So that's fun. That's good. Of all the things Seth could influence, he didn't influence that meta. So I hope the community will criticize the high-end scaling, but they must maintain the agenda. Yeah. That's agenda scaling has pretty much taken over. Although you could argue it's always been a part of, you can argue it's always been a part of scaling, but I believe there's ways to do it. Like, for example, what it looks like me agenda scaling for Bleach, what that looks like is the video you got with Soul Crush in some way, shape, or form, right? Because what I did was I took a concept, or I took an ability that exists within Bleach that a lot of people don't like to talk about for reasons we know why. A lot of people don't like to engage with for reasons we know why. And I put it on the table. I said, hey, it's time to be honest about this thing called Soul Crush. Here's the facts. Here's the data. Here are the statistics. Make your own decision with it, but this is what it is. This is what it is. In that video, I didn't say it was definitively this or definitively that. No. I presented it. I presented the evidence. I didn't say we should use it. I didn't say anything like that. That's agenda scaling for me. These guys go out their way to blatantly lie, misinterpret things, and fall back on how things can be interpreted. So a step further from misinterpreting it, that being, oh, I see something in, I got it wrong. No, they'll intentionally use the fact that it can be interpreted multiple ways and then go with the way that most aligns with their scaling. Not the correct scaling, their scaling for where they want X character. Boy, oh boy, that shit is crazy. Who in Naruto was killed by zapping? Max, this is what I'm talking about. Why does Kuribo do this to me? Why does he do this to me? Let's start with that. Let's start with Darui. Let's start with Darui. Would it be easier to go by chapter? Note to self too, guys, or note to you guys too. It's always better, in my opinion, to have the raw version of the anime and then the more modern version of the anime. Manga. God, I need some water. It's always better to have the raw version of the manga and then the actual, like, more caught up version. You see how these panels are cleaner, but the translations are different. The translations are different and the words are different. And what's being said is important. So that's why, like, whenever I do this stuff, I always have two different translations up. And if those two things don't align, I'll usually go to the anime and then the anime dub and then the anime sub. And then I'll kind of like figure out, okay, what was said here? Is it more in alignment with what's said on this one? What's the consistency between them? Et cetera, et cetera. Now, this can't even search page numbers. Okay, so I'll have to do it through this. And we're looking for Darui, aren't we? Yeah, Darui. That's what we're looking for. So maybe chapter. I think I was just on it yesterday, actually. Okay, not this. Wait, do I have the digitally covered Naruto? Yeah, let me get the colored version of Naruto. Whoa. Okay, that's that. So not 600. We need to go back to like 5. Like 500, I think. Okay, not 500. So it's kind of blowing me. This is going to take long. Let's do. What's that 540? Okay, cool. So the war has started here. But we need the initial assault. Raikage. When did they get involved? They're talking about the Gold and Silver brothers before Tsunade and them go to the battlefield, I think. Yeah. It's actually when Naruto's still training because he senses Jinkaku and Kinkaku. Make sure. Yeah, that's all Hanzo stuff. So maybe like 525. I'm nice. I am nice. Come on, bro. Don't say Ab-Stract don't know Naruto, bro. Not as well as Bleach, but I can, you know, I'm still there with it. Though I don't like how these panels are being shown. Anyways, let's go to the next one. Okay, we gotta go back a little bit further to when he like zaps all the Zetsus. So like 522 maybe. Nope, earlier than that apparently. 5:15. Because we're looking for this bum Darui. Okay, he's teaching him this, he's teaching him that. Alright, let's just do like 5:10. Oh my god. I thought I was nice, guys. Maybe I'm not as nice as I thought I was. Okay, cool. The war hasn't even started yet at 5:10, so damn. Nope. Maybe it was 5:15. Nope. Gotta. Nope. Alright, I take it back, guys. I'm not as nice as I thought I was. I apologize. This is completely unacceptable. I can't find Darui. He doesn't get a lot of scenes. It's not my fault. These two bums get sealed by Sai of all people. Unbelievable. He got sealed by Sai. Craziness. Okay, making the Biju bomb. Where does he do double Black Panther, bro? That's all we're looking for. What is going on? I should have just went back from when I saw him. Maybe he doesn't get that many scenes, though. Because we're back at 5:23. Damn. Did anyone put in the chapter? Does anyone know the chapter? Nope. No one knows the chapter. Put the chapter in. Neji got caught by a Zetsu. Unbelievable. Alright, Gold and Silver Brothers. Okay, cool. Here we are. What chapter is this? 525. Bet. I wish we could get like a better look at this. Here they come. Give the signal. Prepare for battle. Kakuzu's there. Gold and Silver Brothers. Don Kato. Hiyashi. Hyuga. Asuma. Okay, cool. So that's off the next one. 526. Okay. It's a grab, but I guess I'll show them why I'm the one guarding the coast. So he needs an environmental boost. This is why he's guarding the coast, because water and lightning. Sure. I launch the opening shot, then you'll engage them. Because he needs the spotlight. Let me stop. Let me stop shitting on Darui. Okay. Lightning style Black Panther. Black Lightning. Lord Raikage. Lord Raikage only ever let Captain Darui get a tattoo. Okay, so yeah. So there's actually, so far at least, there's no vaporizing going on. They're just hurt. The rest of them jump off the water, which is what Kimimaro would do if Darui did something like this. So this isn't really crazy. Oh, and that's it? Oh, that's it? Hold up. Oh, yeah, that's it? So there's not, so like no vaporization occurs at all. Even on the water, we don't even see vapor coming up, even though it's hitting the water. I have no reason to believe this would affect Kimimaro in stage 1 or stage 2. Maybe base Kimimaro, but even that's a maybe. So there's that. Buzz, Zez, yeah. Then we get Kunai being thrown by randoms at Zetsu's. Cool. Gold and Silver Brothers. Let's do this Kinkaku Shoten Kinkaku. I got this. So the Zetsus jump at them. However flashy they may be, they're still simply tools. They don't stand a chance against our blazing hot ninjutsu. So I'm guessing the brother does that circle of fire with his sword, if I remember correctly. Atsui, hold up, stay cool, and let them finish. Bah, he's too hot-headed. They talk in excess amongst themselves. Good. I'll take on the one all the way in the back. Okay. So he goes at Ginkaku, I think. Or Kinkaku is the one with the Bashigo or whatever. He goes at Kinkaku. And Kinkaku hits him with the thingy. Hits him back. Does he hit her too? Guess he blitzed over and hit her too. Atsui, Miss Samui, are you both alright? Hey Brad, don't look away. A scorching hot punch. And I'm up against old man Ginkaku, eh? Now Kokinjo. Squeezes out his spirit word. Cuts the spirit word. These theatrics are also really weird. Like, why not just kill them, bro? Why not just slice their stomachs open while they're spitting out the words? But okay. Darui is being overwhelmed by Zetsu at this point because Kingaku and Jinkaku are apparently tag teaming Samui and Atsui. He's literally being overwhelmed by Zetsu. Look at his face. Hold up. This is good. Let's stay here. Let's do that. Keep that there. Let's go here. Where's Naruto? Naruto. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Oh, I had it digitally covered. That's crazy. Okay, cool. That's chapter 500, right? Cool. I'm with you. Let's go to like the let's go here. Where's Kimimaro at, bro? No. Whoa. What's all this? Damn, bro. Okay, cool. It's pretty close. Yeah. We all know the image I'm talking about, right? We all know the image where Kimimaro just bodies like 15 samurai by himself, which should be stronger than the Zetsu, unless you want to argue the Zetsu are stronger than the samurai. But, that's kind of crazy in itself. But hey, it's your life. Do what you want to do. All right, I can't find it. I'm not going to look for it. It's okay. Point being though, his lightning style didn't do jack shit to those Zetsu, and I'm sorry, didn't do jack shit to the Zetsu. Like from a AP standpoint, they were fine. They got zapped though. They were fine. He's struggling against Zetsu right here. Look at the desperation on his face. He can't even get by more than 5 of them. A little confused here, actually. I'm really confused. Let's keep going. We can't use our most uttered words. Of course, it's a word game. I hate word games. He does a fire attack. Everyone but Atsui is able to dodge where his arm gets a little burned. And he gets sucked into the Benny Haka show, whatever. He's able to cut off one of their arms, Kinkaku's arm, and use his storm style, which is fast, but only pushes him back. Doesn't really do too much. Not a crazy attack. He gets his spirit word stolen. Yeah, see, like, Darui's scaling is not that good, bro. He's not that good, bro. Alright, where we at? We got Grid in the chat. What's good, Grid? How you doing, bro? The problem was... Oh, okay, I already read that. Right, who in Naruto was killed by zapping? Exactly. Something motherfuckers need to realize about Kimimaro is how sturdy he is. He did most of his fight without a spine because it took it out for a sword. We talk about that, bro. Like, listen, he took out his spine. We understand if he's grabbing his spine, he would have to actually be regenerating the spine as he's taking it out, or else he would have like fell, been disbalanced, had some type of, not motor. What's the word? He would have had some issues taking out his spine if he was not regenerating his spine at the same rate he was pulling it the fuck out. Unless we want to say he was, in fact, fighting without a spine. In that case, he'd be a spineless bastard. Let me stop. But yeah, I know someone who can actually beat Damon from Boruto. Now that we know what we know about him, I think a lot of people could probably beat him. Not piercing attacks with high AP like Chidori. Right. Kai says, I don't think a single hit is going to take Kimimaro down, but multiple hits over time is. It's more so a battle of attrition. And I do see Darui getting a win, just not a clean one, as it's very close. Okay, so you think it could be close if Darui lands multiple lightning style jutsu. I can see where the logic is in that, landing multiple lightning style jutsu, wearing Kimimaro down and stuff like that. I don't know how Kimimaro, I don't know how Darui would handle Kimimaro's like close up front assault though. That's going to, because like Darui's going to be going for slicing attacks on him, and he's not going to, Kimimaro literally might tank an attack to hit Darui. There goes that fight, literally. If he tanks an attack in order to land one, there goes that fight. I don't know, man. I don't know. And then with the whole Kimimaro, so here we have to look at this too. It was Chiyo and Kimimaro against Hanzo, a battalion of samurai. Oh my gosh. Hold up. It was Kimimaro and Chiyo against Hanzo, a battalion of samurai, and then a Naruto clone that comes after. We find out that off screen, the Naruto clone is absent, and Chiyo and Kimimaro aren't sealed. Chiyo was only using a single corpse samurai as a puppet, which means the lion's share of the battle power was in Kimimaro's hands. I shouldn't have to spell out the rest. Kimimaro either beat the damn clone, and Hanzo and them must have retreated for not being able to seal him. That's good. Shiriyama says, can't wait for the Twitter and TikTok Naruto fan try to ridicule your thinking. Kimimaro beats part 2 characters, but then they can't give an actual argument. Don't get me wrong. I believe actual arguments exist, and the thing is, if Kimimaro is going to be beat, it's not going to be by someone who uses physical ninjutsu. It's going to be by like a hacks type of ability. It's going to be like Kamui. It's going to be Genjutsu. It's going to be something like along the lines of that. Pulling out your soul. But for the most part, physical ninjutsu isn't. It has to be like the highest level of physical ninjutsu, like TSOs and a direct hit to the face from Tsunade, like to the face, without him guarding and stuff like that. Tsunade actually just shatters Kimimaro. May uses acid and lava. Tsunade does not actually. You want to bet that? Orochimaru doesn't seem to think Tsunade shatters Kimimaro. Orochimaru doesn't seem to think that. May melts him. May is. It gets me when people bring up May. It gets me when people bring her up. She's not a hard night for anybody. She's not a hard fight. Honestly, May is Jonin-level. She is Jonin-level. She is not Kage-level. Keeping it real. Keep it in being. Keep it in a stack. And I don't even like to get into the levels like that. But if we're going to talk about it, she's not even Kage-level. What has she done? Exactly. What exactly has she done? Nothing. She's done nothing on the level of any of the other Kage. I'm convinced that Naruto fans can't read. They try and say that Deidara is above sorcery when Deidara literally admits inferiority to sorcery. Sorcery is above Deidara in so many ways. Sorcery versus Deidara is not a good fight for Deidara at all. In fact, sorcery would probably have to leave Hideko simply because he would need the attack range of the third Raikage. But Deidara wouldn't be able to like forcefully remove him from Hideko unless he went with one of his fucking suicide bombs, in my opinion. That's just me, though. That's just me. I don't know. Ab-Stract is like that guy who knows exactly what he is doing. Then when people say, nah, but then it turns out, bro, I swear to God, Shinigami, this has happened so many times, bro. And the crazy thing is, too, I'll see niggas jack my arguments and not even give any credit. It's happened so much. I'm like, yo, you wasn't kicking that before me and you talked. Where'd you get that idea from? And they'll think they probably came up with the idea, forgetting that I introduced it in some obscure conversation we have because, oh man, it'd be crazy. It's cool though. I don't mind. Seth was trying to slander Minato, so he basically pulled out the claim that stronger doesn't mean just stats and doesn't intimate higher physicality. I have no problem with Minato slander. I'm not really the biggest Minato fan. I've never understood the hype around the guy. I've never really understood the hype around Minato. Not really. He's cool. He's cool. He's not like crazy though. He's not crazy. Minato's cool. At the very most, he's cool. He's not crazy though. And I have no problem. Also, yeah, I personally have no problem slandering a character if it's in the means to bolster another. I have no problem doing that because I understand how all this shit works anyway. So whoever I'm arguing for, I'm not going to be arguing on the basis of they have to be faster. No, because we understand that it's based on multiple things, not just stats, not just chakra amount, not just potency, not just ninjutsu. It's your whole arsenal. So Naruto debates really, really, really come down to how well you can argue someone's whole arsenal over someone else. How well you can argue the scaling over someone else, right? It's not going to be so cut and dry as, oh, well, his AP is this, his AP is that. I literally doesn't matter because all these characters can hurt each other anyway. So saying what their AP is doesn't matter unless the person doesn't have the means to stop it or to evade it. Doesn't matter. As long as you can argue they can stop it or evade it in some way, the higher AP doesn't matter. The Chidori is going to work the same way a sword slice is going to work, the same way a kunai is going to work, the same way the Rasengan is going to work, the same way the fire style jutsu is going to hurt somebody. Doesn't matter. As far as speed, the speed only matters in relation to if you can actually blitz somebody. The speed in Naruto only matters in relation to if you can actually blitz somebody and they cannot react. Let me add that caveat. If you can actually blitz them and they cannot react. If the person in Naruto can track your movements, I'm sorry, but you being faster is it's not, and this is what I say about speed too. People seem to not understand that just being faster isn't enough. You have to be so fast to the point that I cannot react. That's what you have to be. That's what you have to be. Because if I can react to you, then I can block you. If I can react to you, I can dodge you. I don't need to mount an offensive on you if you're coming to me. I don't need to. Think of Naruto just getting his KCM. How many times did he use that lightning fast speed that we saw the first time he used it? How many times does he do the same speed feat he blitzes around the Raikage? Think about the Raikage versus Madara. Think about the Raikage versus Sasuke. Did Sasuke seem worried about how fast the Raikage was? No, because he had means to stop it. He had the Sharingan, which helped, but he also had defensive techniques that he could use to stop it. He could also react to the Raikage. Being faster isn't that fucking big a deal. Not really. Unless you're faster than my perception and my reaction, it's not that big a deal, bro. It's not that big a deal. As long as you have the means, you'll be fine. For example, not even for example, Noodles was arguing Kakuzu versus Minato yesterday on TikTok. And his whole thing was, well, Minato won't be able to hurt him. And in my mind, I'm like, well, we understand that Kakuzu doesn't just walk around in Diamond Morph, right? We understand Diamond Morph is a jutsu that takes hand signs to do. If Minato tags Kakuzu and Minato gets over to Kakuzu, will Kakuzu be able to activate Diamond Morph before Minato is able to transport to him and slice him or stab him? Like, that's how I think about shit. That's how I think about it. So yeah, speed is not that crazy. I gotta out of all the things I chose to stay stuck on. Why did I stay stuck here? That's hilarious. Let me get out of this though. The personal headcanon comes into play. Oh, the personal headcanon always comes into play. I was like, so, and now we can move into the Twitter. We can move into the TikTok stuff. We can move into that. Because I'm talking to an individual that said chakra strength. And I'm like, chakra strength? Where'd you get that word from? Chakra strength. Where'd you get that word? So first, let's watch this.
Prior to Sage Mode and during Sage Mode. Tsunade talking to Pain, and then Pain
Well, first I want to address the claim that you made that Tsunade isn't stronger than Jiraiya, but she directly is shown to be stronger than Jiraiya. Not only does Jiraiya admit that there's only 2 wounds that put him near the brink of death ever in life, which is the Four-Tail Strike, and then Tsunade almost beating him to death. Not only that, it's stated here that she was trying to protect her village. That's why she couldn't fight Pain. So saying that, oh yeah, because she protected her village from the almighty push and spared all her chakra to her village, instead of just putting it onto herself and fighting Pain, is just stupid, because then the Leaf Village would be completely gone. There would be no survivors besides the people that are strong enough to survive an attack like that, which are only high tiers, like Tsunade, Kakashi, Choza. Choza's not a high tier, but I don't even know if he'll survive that. But you get what I'm saying. Not only do we not blame Gaara for their same situation, because he didn't lose to Deidara, but Deidara attacked his village. He didn't lose to Deidara because Deidara was stronger. He lost to Deidara because he had to protect his village. And then this is just for Sakura being stronger than Naruto, or being relative to Naruto and Sasuke. A fight always teaches you more than training. It's a short way to a power-up. She's been fighting the entirety of the war, and then regaining her chakra, and exerting her chakra, and regaining her chakra. Everyone is shown to get stronger throughout that. Every named person. Then you bring up this feat where she rushes at Madara and says directly that she's going to be the diversion. She's not trying to actually fight him. She's only trying to take his attention away from Naruto and Sasuke so that they can seal him, which is shown. And then my favorite part right here is going to be the fact that you said that she was useless all the time, and then showed a panel of her like Sasuke stating that she's useless.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know the context of what he's responding to. First off, could you guys even hear that video? I'm going to assume you could. I don't know the context of what he was responding to, but the important parts that I was concerned with was him saying that Tsunade could beat Pain if she wasn't protecting the village. So let's go down this conversation thread. I say, let's do this. I say, I can't zoom in. Can I zoom in? Let's keep it real. Even if she wasn't protecting the village, there wasn't a single thing she could have done to Pain. Oh, hold up. It's out of order. Okay. It's out of order a little bit. You know what? Let me just do it like this, actually. Let me go to here and go to the first one.
Prior to Sage Mode and during Sage Mode, Tsunade.
Hold up. Dang, why does TikTok do that, bro? I can't find the actual. Oh my gosh. Come on, where's it at? Okay, it's not giving me the exact thing that he said. What did he say? You know what? It's fine. I'll read it from my thing and then just go to some of them. I'm going to go to my TikTok and read it. Because I have it. I don't know why you guys can't see it, though. Okay. So just imagine that these messages are in fact there, right?
Prior to Sage Mode and during Sage.
So I say, let's keep it real. Even if she wasn't protecting the village, there wasn't a single thing she could have done to Pain. He says, yes, she could have. Right? I reply with, how? All right, his first response, and hopefully that one's here. Okay, yeah, his first response is, she is shown to be, listen to this. His first response is, she is shown to be above Raikage, and Raikage is relative to KCM 1, which is stated to be way greater than his Sage Mode form that Pain stated he couldn't damage. Sage Mode Naruto, that is. Okay. Did everyone get that? In your head, when you hear something like that, if in your head alerts, red flags, and confusion isn't going off, then you might also have a problem with understanding how Naruto actually scales. Because none of that shit makes any fucking sense. Let's do it again. She is shown to be above Raikage. Let's stop there. In what way is she shown to be above the Raikage? What would we be talking about? How is she above the Raikage? What way? Cool. Raikage is relative to KCM 1. How is the Raikage relative to KCM 1? In what way are we actually talking about? Cool. Which is stated to be way greater than his Sage Mode. Where was that ever stated? I don't think that statement exists. Way greater than his Sage Mode? Way greater? I don't think that statement exists. We even see Naruto get out of KCM 1 to go into Sage Mode to beat the third Raikage. So if the KCM was greater, why didn't he just stay in that? Interesting. Greater than his Sage Mode from that Pain. Pain stated he couldn't damage Sage Mode Naruto. Okay, so not being able to damage Sage Mode Naruto means what for Tsunade? Pyramiding inferences, gross generalizations and assumptions, and bad scaling. Literally, that's what all this culminated to. So my next response is, this is an extremely sloppy chain scale. And I go in reverse. First, not being able to damage Sage Mode Naruto is irrelevant. Tsunade doesn't have his durability, tactical abilities, or arsenal. So I preempted all that shit because even though he didn't mention it, I'm making it clear Naruto doesn't have the durability, but she doesn't have Naruto's durability in Sage Mode. But even aside from that, she doesn't have his arsenal, which would include Sage Mode, Clones, Rasen Shuriken, Rasengan, Frog Kumite. She doesn't have none of that shit. She doesn't have his arsenal or tactical prowess. No, she doesn't, right? Second, Raikage being relative to KCM is only in terms of speed, which Tsunade doesn't scale to or have any feats to argue for. Does anyone want to debate that point? Does anyone want to debate Tsunade somehow scales to the Raikage in speed? This is the shit I'm talking about. Third, Tsunade being above the Raikage is literally in terms of strength. The things she outscales him in is literally wouldn't matter against Pain. The things that Tsunade does outscale the Raikage in literally would not matter against Pain. In fact, I would argue you would need a combination of both of their best attributes to even fight Pain. I don't think either one of them are fighting Pain. Realistically, I really don't believe it, honestly. But yeah. The thing she outscales him in literally wouldn't matter against Pain. She has higher striking strength and regen. Facts. He has greater speed and durability via Lightning Cloak. Facts. You're just throwing the word relative around like all these characters are the same level. They're not. You're just throwing the word relative around like all these people are the same level. They can all do the same and perform the same. Stop. Right? His next response is, she has better durability. She has a greater chakra strength. Pause. She has better durability. Okay. She has greater chakra strength. What the fuck is he? What is chakra strength? What does that mean? I've heard of chakra potency. I've heard of chakra volume. What is chakra strength? She has greater chakra strength than him. Then yes, she would. And Raikage is more than relative to him in just speed. They clash evenly multiple times. Yes, this was neither. So if they do clash, which I don't remember them clashing, if they do clash, in fact, I remember Naruto getting knocked back multiple times. Don't remember them clashing. Naruto gets knocked back multiple times. But even if they do clash, this isn't them going all out. So it's hard. You can't even quantify how much one is holding back than the other. You can't even quantify that. She literally keeps up with V2 Raikage while he's being amplified by Onuki. I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about right now. What does he mean she keeps up? Keeps up in what way? What does she do? Is she running around? Is she running alongside version 2 Raikage with Onuki on her back? With Onuki on his back? Is that what's happening? When does that happen? I watched the series. I read the fight. When does that happen? I'm pretty sure in my years of scaling, I would have heard if Tsunade was as fast as A boosted by Onuki. I'm pretty sure I would have heard that. Amplified by Onuki, lightning boulder. He means lightweight boulder jutsu, which makes the person faster, which would just put her above V2 Raikage without Onuki. Do we see the insanity here? Do we see the insanity here? So that's his justification for my second response. Very crazy. So the next thing I ask, which I don't see here. Hold up. Where's it at? Oh, yeah. So the next thing I ask is, give me a Tsunade durability feat. Give me a Tsunade durability feat. No, not that response. Oh, where's his other response? Okay, yeah. Give me a Tsunade durability feat. He says, tanking the strongest version of Almighty Push from Pain. Oh, yeah. Taking the strongest version of Almighty Push from Pain, we have seen, but not only that, having a greater chakra strength than someone also means your physical stats are above theirs. Also, okay, again with this chakra strength thing, which I'm pretty sure doesn't actually exist within the manga. I'm pretty sure that's a made up term by power scalers, which is fine. But then I would like ask for quantifications of it, an example of it, a solid definition of it, all these other things. So my response is, you mean the chaotic Shinra Tensei that everyone who also survived tanked? That one? And we gotta stop using that word tanked because, but we'll get into it. I have no idea what you mean by chakra strength. Does that term appear in the series? Define it, quantify it, and give me an example. Okay, so he just responded 14 minutes ago. Okay, cool. He says, no one survived and tanked that without her chakra. Oh, no one survived and tanked that. Without her chakra, they would have all died. She allocated all her chakra to save everyone in the village. The only reason they survived the attack and tanked that is because of her. So her with no chakra is able to survive and tank the strongest Almighty Push by pain. Chakra strength is how strong someone's chakra is. It's what scales physical. That they give you example of this in War Arc. It's like the potency of your chakra. Okay, so to him, chakra strength is chakra potency. Okay, cool. And his example of that is what? Is he absorbing out of chakra? That's okay. So Mater. Okay, so we're scaling durability again. We're doing durability scaling to chakra quantity and stuff like that. Insanity. So these are the people. These are the type of people that exist though on Twitter. And it's very common. In fact, if you go through his comments, so we have one disagreement here. W, bro, Tsunade and Sakura support. Remember, Madara seen Sakura as such a threat that he used Limbo to block her punches and actually, these are the type of people that exist. Yeah, doesn't have a lot of comments, but like, if I go to some of the other ones, you'll see some crazy shit, bro. People actually think like this. I'll respond to this later, but this was just to give you guys an example of what the fuck I'm dealing with. Or I'm sorry, not what I'm dealing with, because it's not like a problem for me. Obviously, I can respond to all this shit. But a problem for the community. This is a problem for the community. Like when you perpetuate and give off this type of disinformation, I'll say, it just serves to further obfuscate the Naruto scaling. It just serves to do that. Because none of this shit is in context. He said they tanked the Almighty Push when really he's talking about the slugs being on them, healing them the whole time. So that's not fucking tanking. So he doesn't know the difference between endurance, durability, and regeneration. Clearly. So it's a lot, man. It's funny. It's a lot though. All right, what was the last thing I read? I may have played a lot of Storm, but isn't Naruto and KCM blitzing characters a technique called Tailed Beast Flash Bullet? Maybe. I don't even know, Kino. Maybe. I haven't played the Storm games in years. I have no idea. Yes, it's a very wordy manga. Lots of long interval monologues that are necessary to read to understand what the characters are thinking, so I understand why you don't like it, says Zach. Okay, we're talking about Light and L, so I will skip over that stuff. Luna Ursa says, exactly, Naruto doesn't even use body flicker to fight constantly. What are we... What are we talking about? Like, oh my god, bro. Come on, bro. Naruto doesn't even use body flicker to fight constantly. To me, it'd be implied through the games that Naruto uses it more, but if we only use source material, nobody really leverages speed. Exactly. And like the Toshido versus Kakashi video encapsulates that whole thing of why they don't perfectly. Body flicker is not like Shunpo, Sonido, Bringer Light, Flash Step, Shave, or any other high speed movement technique. It's not like those techniques. It doesn't do the same thing. It pulls the user. It pulls them to the point to where if they're not up to par, they will literally get fucking confused. This is why body flicker is mainly used for escaping or like to start off an assault. Escaping or to start off an assault. It literally says, if you don't have the Sharingan or something else, you're not going to be using body flicker in combat like that. Hence why we don't see Naruto use body flicker in combat like that. Hence why the Raikage, who synapses fire at a very fast pace, can use body flicker or the teleportation jutsu in combat. Hence why he can. He's an exception to the rule, not the rule. Hence why Shisui, the teleporter, and we don't even know how he fights with it, but we'll assume he does, right? Hence why Shisui with his Sharingan can use it like that. No one's moving that fast during a fucking fight in Naruto. They're not moving as fast as their body flicker. So blitzing in Naruto, like I said, as long as you can react to the person and perceive them and know what's coming, you'll be fine. You'll absolutely be fine. But this is why techniques like Minato's placing a tag on you, this is why techniques like that are fucking scary. Because he's moving faster than the body flicker and attacking you at the same time. That shit can be scary. I understand that 100%. But as far as these other people, no, bro. It's not. We're not doing that. Okay, still talking about L, still talking about light. I will skip over that stuff. Your audio is good, but the video is all right in audio. Okay, gotcha. Grid says, Sakura trying to take attention away from Naruto and Sasuke doesn't defend her getting blitzed there. Common sense dictates not getting caught and becoming a liability makes her a bigger distraction. Let me read that again. Sakura trying to take attention away from Naruto and Sasuke doesn't defend her getting blitzed there. All right, and I'll say this. I don't know if I want to call it a blitz per se, only because she was stopped by an invisible force that she had no idea was there, and then she gets stabbed. It's not like she could have dodged the stab. She was probably being held by the Limbo clone. So I don't know if I would call that a blitz necessarily. Common sense dictates not getting caught and becoming a liability makes her a bigger distraction. Okay, yes, yeah, absolutely. Common sense would dictate her being able to still be of use while not being pinned down, because then Naruto and Sasuke have to worry about her and save her, and we saw how that unfolded. We literally saw how her horrible distraction unfolded. We literally saw it. She ran at them first. She ran at him first, got impaled. Sakura! And then they get kicked back. They get hit back. So no progress was made by her fucking distraction. No ground was taken by her distraction. No meaningful thing came about from her distraction at all, aside from her wasting chakra. Aside from Naruto and Sasuke potentially taking damage and hits. Unbelievable. Not gonna lie, if she used the full 100 healings Byakugo seal with Katsuyo adding to her healing, I think there was a possibility she could beat Pain, as he was much weaker than the Pain Jiraiya fought. He was much weaker than the Pain Jiraiya fought? Zach, I'm so confused. What do you mean by that? Here's the thing. Tsunade does not have the arsenal, tactical ability, and means to beat Pain. She just does not. She has no way to deal with his multiple eyes, like, the summonings, the animal summonings, the King of Hell. She has no way to stop all the eyes on her, so they'll always know where she is and what she's doing at any given time, which means they can react to her. Mind you, Shirado was able to react to a point-blank lightning blade from Kakashi simply because Tendo had his eyes on him. Do you think Tsunade strikes faster than a lightning blade? I talk shit about the Chidori and the lightning blade a lot, but I'm not going to downplay it within the fucking series. I'm not going to cross-verse? Sure, absolutely. But in the series, no. I'm not going to downplay the lightning blade, especially not over Tsunade. Hell no. You think she attacks as fast as the lightning blade? Because Shirado dodged that point blank from behind. Through a smoke screen. 100 healing Tsunade isn't doing a thing to Pain. She'll never get close enough because she'll get almighty pushback. The minute she gets touched by the human path, the fight's over. She'll have to deal with all the animal summonings constantly. And guess what? Pain has enough chakra to go the distance with her, because he took on her entire village by himself. And then Naruto Ninetales by himself. So he has enough chakra to go the distance with her. He'll be able to revive every Pain that she potentially does hit, which I don't think she'll even be able to land any hits on a Pain. But let's say she does. Let's say she does. He'll be able to revive any pain that he'll be able to revive any pain that she destroys. Because he's going to be protecting Tendo most, and then the resurrection pain. If she gets grabbed, her chakra is going to be absorbed. I have no idea how Tsunade can beat any fucking. I have no idea. First, I don't have Tsunade beating anyone in the Akatsuki aside from Hidan. First off, let's get that clear. She's not beating Sorcery. I don't think she beats Sorcery. I do not think she beats Sorcery. I do not think she beats Sorcery. I don't see it happening. Sorcery's a hard knight, by the way. In Naruto, at least. Because if he lands a single attack, you're poisoned. And guess what? She doesn't carry antidotes on her in person, much less have an antidote for Sorcery's poison. She wouldn't have any knowledge of it either. Sorcery's a hard knight. Put some respect on his name. No, I'm not about to play with y'all, bro. Not about to play with y'all. Honestly, you sound like you read a word salad. Yeah, cause that's pretty much what it was. And then people don't put like periods appropriately. They don't put commas appropriately. They don't even space out their things appropriately. So it does sound like that. She's above A in AP, A in KCM speed, A and KCM speed. Naruto tells Nagato he's stronger than he was before while in KCM. Okay. And so, Kuribo, you're falling literally into the thing that me, Luna, Ursa, and apparently Seth, the programmer, not now for me at least, but acknowledge that being stronger doesn't necessarily mean you're stronger in every fucking thing, bro. Saying, I'm stronger than when I fought pain doesn't mean jack shit. Guess what? You learned a new form and new techniques. Of course you're going to be fucking stronger, dummy. Not you, Kuribo. I'm talking about Naruto. But I'm not even talking. No, I am talking about. I would actually be talking about you, Kuribo, because at this point, Naruto telling Pain he's stronger can be a thing. But you saying Naruto is stronger when you know what you know about the series, I can't defend that. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know why you would say that. I don't know why you would say that. I don't know why you would say. We know strength is multiple factors. We know strength is multiple factors. Show me KCM having higher durability than Sage Mode. Show me KCM having higher lifting and striking strength than Sage Mode. Bet you can't do it. Show me KCM having a better reaction time than Sage Mode. You cannot do it. Because the forms are two different forms and they have two different advantages and abilities. KCM allows him greater access to the Ninetales chakra and spamming big moves. So yes, in a sense, he would be stronger because he can perform more high output techniques. But guess what? He's less durable. He's not as strong. He doesn't have better sensing. I don't know why you're doing this. She's above Raikage in strength, explicitly, not speed. Thank you, Luna Ursa. It's like, oh my God, bro. Oh man. And the frustrating thing about talking about Naruto is there aren't enough people who want to actively make content like myself that can disseminate the type of thoughts that I have, right? Because Luna Ursa, someone like Luna Ursa, someone like Grid, Kai, Rev, these guys would be like great frontline players, but they don't want to make fucking content, which is fine. I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they shouldn't. What I'm saying is the voices in the content creation spheres, voices like mine are eclipsed because so much misinformation has been spread and then disseminated and then accepted, right? So when you get someone like me pushing back with a different take and a different agenda, it doesn't only sound wrong, but it sounds like I'm the one that's making things up. I'm the one that doesn't understand the series. When really, the misinformation has been so widely accepted, and it's done such a great job of getting to the minds of the casual fans that now they think because chakra strength is a thing that they're somehow outstatting people that are feat-wise faster than them. Because they think chakra strength and chakra potency is a thing, they think this somehow means they're more durable. This individual, it's alone, is his name. This individual really thinks that Tsunade is as fast as Onoiki and the Raikage while using lightweighted boulder jutsu. Kuribo, you wouldn't even say some crazy shit like that. You would not even say some crazy shit like that. This individual really thinks that surviving, tanking, and regenerative abilities are all the same thing. He said Tsunade survived Chaotic Shinra Tensei. First off, let's do this. We understand that the Chaotic Shinra Tensei was performed from the air, right? Cool. We understand the Chaotic Shinra Tensei just pushed a lot of the village's buildings to the outskirts of the village, right? Can you show me the Chaotic Shinra Tensei vaporizing, pulverizing, or doing anything on that level? It didn't. FYI, it didn't do any of that stuff. It didn't vaporize. It didn't pulverize. It's a huge AoE. So he doesn't even understand the scaling of the Chaotic Shinra Tensei. And this is why it's not worth it to talk to these people. Because, like I said, I'd have to bring you down to the foundational aspects of the series and then build you up, all while arguing with your dumb ass. I don't got time for that. Unless we are doing a formal debate, I don't have time for that. Formal debate. I don't mean a TikTok debate. I don't mean getting on Twitter Spaces. No. Unless we're going to both dedicate a significant amount of time to put a presentation together and present viewpoints and present arguments, and I go 5 minutes, I go 5 to 7 minutes, you go 5 to 7 minutes, there's a round of rebuttals, and then we can like freely talk. I don't have time for this shit. Because I'd only do this shit in service to demonstrate how wrong most of these people are about the Naruto's power system. That's what I would do it for. And the beautiful thing about it is, I know it so well. I know everything that they would be coming with. Chakra strength is new to me. I'll grant you that. I've never heard chakra strength, but he said it was more so chakra potency. I already have something for, I don't need to have something for it, right? Because it's not like a thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying chakra potency isn't a thing. I'm saying how they're using chakra potency isn't a thing. He's alluding that, no, he's saying that because their chakra is stronger, this now makes their body stronger. Because Tsunade has stronger chakra potency, this makes her body stronger. I have no idea how he would be quantifying that, first off. I have no idea how he would be getting that conclusion, secondly. But yeah, it's not worth it. Not worth it. Every now and then I'll go into those spheres, those areas, I'll say, because I can't say spheres right now. Just said it though. Every now and then I'll go in there for fun and to listen to what's going on. And sometimes if it's a conversation that wouldn't take too much backtracking and re-explaining, I might participate. But for the most part, it's like, yo, these kids really think that chakra scaling is a thing. They really think that chakra works like this. I can't. We heard the video. Okay, beautiful. Okay, back to Luna Ursa's comment. She's above Raikage in strength explicitly, not speed, but Raikage is relative to KCM in speed, not strength. Though it does boost strength and durability and so on, it's bad scaling. There you go. Oh, character A, character B, even though that's only in one stat. Yeah. And that's the biggest problem. They'll equate chakra to all stats and then say, well, oh, scales to this. Man, oh man. This is the equivalent of saying Hiei has higher speed than Yusuke, so he wins 100% of the time. Exactly. If Tsunade had good durability, she would not need to use an ability like 100 healings. She literally uses healing ninjutsu to supplement her low durability. Facts. I didn't even think about that. Because I'm so worried on, well, hold up. We understand the difference between durability, regeneration, and whatchamacallit, right? We understand these things are different. Durability is the ability to withstand wear, pressure, force, damage, all that stuff. Regeneration is, hey, if I get hurt by something, I can recover from it. I can recover from it. That's not durability, though. Oh, that's right, stamina or endurance. Endurance is, if I get hurt by something, I can keep going. Endurance is not durability, though. Regeneration is not endurance. Regeneration isn't durability. And durability is not regeneration. None of these things actually intertwine with each other the way you think they do. None of those things intertwine with each other the way you think they do. Just like that video, just like the guy that was arguing with me that said, well, Naruto shadow clones get more durable because some of them take one hit and some of them take more. First off, I've never seen a shadow clone take more than one hit, but let's grant it. Let's grant that idea. Let me ask you this. Do the shadow clones still get hurt by the same things the regular Naruto gets hurt by? The answer is yes. So the shadow clones aren't more durable. They're given more endurance via more chakra. They can take more punishment. But that's not being able, that's not withstanding an attack. That's not resisting the wear, pressure, force, or damage. No. If a shadow clone gets stabbed and doesn't disappear, well, that just means that this shadow clone has more endurance than another shadow clone. Not that it's more durable. And when I have to waste time explaining that shit, it's like, should I really be talking to you? Are you the best person to talk to? Are you the best person to discuss this with? I'm so glad, though. Like, the only reason I think I really do it is so I get upset enough to make a video about it. I do it so I can make a video about it and cover it. That's why I do it. This is what pushed me to make this chakra scaling presentation. I've just seen so many terrible arguments, and I'm just like, yo, this gotta stop. This gotta stop. All right. Zach says, if Tsunade had good, oh yeah, I already read that. They combo together, but they don't run alongside each other. Of course they don't run alongside each other. Of course they don't. She's not as fast. Ab-Stract, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the whole point of having Onoiki on her back so that she could keep up with Raikage using his jutsu? All right, so wait, I'm confused. Was Onoiki on her back or the Raikage's back? I thought Onoiki was on the Raikage's back so he could get the most out of his speed jutsu. I thought that's what was going on. We got John the Maven in the chat. What's good, Brody? Sup, bro, side, and that's fire. I like that. I'm traveling, so I won't be able to hang out, but it's good to see you stream. Have a good one. Got you, bro. Nice to see you too. Oh, John, I have been keeping up with this. I have been keeping up with the Naruto Databook Jutsu Files review. Great work. I'm loving it. I'm taking notes. Good stuff. I'm really enjoying it. There are no raw Tsunade durability feats. No, there aren't. You know what there are? Raw examples of the Okai. Tsunade getting hurt by Kabuto. That actually exists. It exists in part 1, actually. Getting hurt by Kabuto. Yeah. Chakra strength doesn't exist. The closest thing you can try to say is that when Orochimaru versus Hiruzen was going on, their chakra was cracking tiles. Yeah. Yep. And then one would have to wonder about this chakra strength thing. Like, the question is, when in this series did you think it was a thing? And then how does this affect like prior feats and instances? Because I would assume Kisame has extraordinary chakra strength. I mean, he has the reserves of a Biju. He's called the tailless-tailed beast. I would presume he has extraordinary chakra strength. Asuma can wound him with his chakra strength. That's weird. It's strange. It's weird. Very lenient use of the word tank here. Yeah, that too. Very lenient use of the word tank. I don't. Yeah, what's Tsunade's chakra empowering Katsuyu distributed healing network? Real time healing, not tanking. Yeah. So we don't understand the difference between tank, endure, and regeneration. This is why it's not worth it. Yo, John, shave might be better than body flicker. Oh no, shave is better. Shave is better than body flicker simply because, body flicker. Like, here's the thing: if body flicker was employed like how these other techniques were at that level, and it didn't have the caveat of making the ninja confused whenever they used it, it would be as good as those other techniques. But it has that one caveat. It has that drawback. It's not used in combat scenarios. It's just not really like an effective speed technique. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just not as effective as their speed techniques. Shunsui was making solid clones with raw speed. Shisui. Oh, okay. What manga chapter did that happen? What manga chapter did that happen exactly, Kuribo? Tell me the manga chapter, please. Show me the manga panel where he does that exactly. YouTube chat doesn't let you post images. Chapter and page. Yeah, no, you can put the chapter and page down. Zach is totally right. Put the chapter and page down, please. It's not that hard. Sakura gets stabbed first. Then the limbo clone catches her punch and holds her in place. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Oh, no. Shit. Hold up. Grid is right. Grid is absolutely right. She gets stabbed first, so it was a blitz. Or at least a reverse blitz, if you want to say that. Although I'm not really a fan of calling anytime someone gets hurt or hit a blitz. I'm not really a fan of that. And for all we know, this is what they use, right? For all we know, her getting stabbed could have been intentional, so she could, block up one of Madara's hands and then throw it. It could have been intentional, but no, your point still stands. She did get stabbed first, so I was incorrect about that. We got Michael in the chat. What's good, bro D? Hey, Michael in the chat. What's good, bro D? What's happening? So what's happening is I'm taking the community through some Twitter reviews. Some TikTok conversations and videos, because the TikTok sphere is actually just as bad as the Twitter sphere. You guys have seen my Twitter interactions. They're bananas. They're crazy. But TikTok is debatably just as worse, to be honest with you. So we're going over some of that stuff. We're gonna be reviewing Shinigami's thread, and we're lightly talking about Kimimaro and his scaling. Because me and Luna Ursa are of the agreement that Kimimaro is like Jonin tier to Kage tier. It's an extremely hard night for anyone that doesn't have a certain hacks, in my opinion. I think Kai, Kuribo, and I think one other person was like Darui would probably beat Kimimaro. Let me get some water real quick. Apologies about that, guys. My body has not activated yet. The first thing I did was get up, set up my stuff for this live, and so I haven't really had a chance to like eat anything or drink anything. So, but yeah, so we're lightly talking about Kimimaro and his scaling. I think he would beat the shit out of Darui. My main thing is Darui doesn't have any techniques that would really put Kimimaro down. Kimimaro has shown excellent regeneration. He's shown excellent durability. He's shown very, very good AP. I mean, like, the AP really doesn't matter because he'd be able to hurt anyone in the series that isn't Raikage or Raikage. So, like, the AP doesn't matter as that much. He'll be able to hurt Darui. That's the point. He'll be able to hurt Darui. But Darui's techniques haven't been able, to me at least, shown that they'll be really effective against Kimimaro. His Black Panther style jutsu didn't vaporize any Zetsus. It didn't cause steam or vapor to rise from the water. It didn't burn or char any of the Zetsus. So I don't really understand what Darui would do against Kimimaro's durability. You know. I have no idea what he would do against Kimimaro's durability. Not a thing. All right, where was I? She'll get almighty pushback. She'll get almighty pushback. That's fire. Hey, yo. So we got John with bro siding. That's crazy. I like that. And then Michael with she'll get almighty pushback. That's crazy, bro. I love it. I love it. Was she even trying to be a distraction, or was she trying to act like she was on Naruto and Sasuke's level and got caught yet again with a hard dose of reality? And there you go. You could argue them both. Either way, you could argue them both. Point being, that's not durability. That's healing again. But yeah. The one making the statement, the burden of proof is on you. So either give me the chapter and page number when Shisui makes physical speed clones or pipe down. Thank you. I don't think that's too much to ask for, Kuribo. When's he make physical speed clones? And don't send me anything on Twitter with a fucking gift, please. Kuribo, I always get on Kuribo's ass because Kuribo, me and Kuribo will be talking, and I'll be like, okay, bro, send the chapter, send the pen, I want to look at it. And he'll send me gifts. And I always got to tell him, like, yo, you know I don't use the anime. You know I don't use the anime. Why are you sending me the anime? Send me a gift. Send me a gift. Send me a gift. Send me a manga panel. Send me a panel. Send me a chapter number. If you're just gonna lie through your teeth and make statements without any evidence, you just simply should not talk. Hey, man. I said it because honestly, my brain turned off. Yep. You aren't reading it correctly. I'm just stating where he got the idea. And what he is conflating. Naruto said he was stronger. I didn't say anything. Naruto said he was stronger. I didn't say anything. Okay, my fault. You weren't saying that Naruto. You weren't saying that. Okay, okay. Then maybe that's my bad. I'll go back and review this and then find out what it really is. I'm still waiting on you to provide the chapter and page number where Shisui makes physical speed clones. I already know that the only chapters where we actually see Shisui on panel 550 and 222, and he is mentioned in passing 520 to 590. You haven't read or watched the series, and that's not my problem. Kuribo, something else, man. Kai says, if we want to talk about someone making clones from raw speed as impressive, we need to talk about Zamari doing it, and his clones can bleed as well. Yes. 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 If we want to talk about physical clones being able to interact with, like, people, speed clones, that is, Zamari. Zamari. If that's what we want to talk about. Tsunade is not a squishy regen type like Deadpool. She's exactly like Deadpool, except Deadpool has better regen. She is a human that can use chakra to regenerate, but this does nothing for her durability. John says, late, but Tsunade might be able to out-heal / regen the toxin damage from Sorcerer's Poison, but it would deplete her lifespan. Oh, I didn't think about that. Hold up. So that's an interesting question. Because I feel like we'd have to find out if Sorcerer's Poison is more of the like toxicity type or poison type. Is it destroying cells, or is it affecting your immune system? Is it affecting your bodily functions? Because I don't know if poison can be healed. There's certain types of poison that can't be healed. Like, for example, this is filler, but it would still apply because it's the Bleach IP. This is just an example, by the way, too. When Mayuri stabs someone with Ashisoki Jizo and it paralyzes their limbs, no matter how much you heal, you'll still be paralyzed. For example, and this is a canon example. When Mayuri poisoned Xayalaparo, and Xayalaparo was healing, he couldn't heal from the poison. So it really depends on. And actually, hold up, we can probably just use Kankuro since Sakura was the one who treated Kankuro. Sakura couldn't just heal Kankuro away from the poison. So if that's any indication of what would happen with Tsunade, then I don't know, John. I feel like I feel like 100 healings wouldn't be able to do anything because it's not bodily damage. And actually, I think she would actually need a feat of being able to heal from poison in the first place, honestly. Because what we know about the myotonic regeneration / 100 healings is it can create new cells, but if the cells aren't being destroyed, how exactly is it going to heal from the poison? But no, good point. Good point. I liked it. That was nice. All right, let's go to another crazy video real quick. Because I got like this always happens. I can read the chat all day.
And during.
I can literally read the chat all day. You guys provide enough. You guys provide enough entertainment and conversations within yourselves to where we can literally just have a whole chat day. We don't even need a topic sometimes. All right, I have these videos favorited because they're absolutely batshit crazy. So let's go over this one real quick. Oh yeah.
Naruto fans are mad at me for pointing out the obvious that these characters do not scale to their abilities. For example, I can show you that in Dragon Ball you have to scale to someone in order to harm them. Piccolo being able to destroy the moon, attacking Raditz, and doing 0 damage to Raditz. I could also show you Goku launching a Kamehameha and then catching that same Kamehameha, showing you that he scales to his own ability. We don't consistently see that within Naruto. For example, what is the evidence that you have that if a Kid Konohamaru charges up a Rasengan and then slap Itachi in the face with this same Rasengan, what is the evidence you have that Itachi would just tank this attack? There is no evidence. Let's compare it across the board. In One Piece, they have armament haki. This shows us that in order to harm someone with armament haki, you have to scale to them. Let's talk about Bleach. Bleach does a fantastic job of this, with Ichigo not being able to cut Kenpachi. They explain perfectly why Ichigo's not able to. It's simply because he is not strong enough to hurt Kenpachi. And another example of these characters not scaling to their abilities is that it's flat out shown. Chakra control is extremely important within the Narutoverse. They explain that, let's say that 30% chakra is needed to create 3 doppelgangers. But someone like Sakura, who's very skilled at manipulating her chakra, she's able to use exactly 30% of her chakra to create 3 doppelgangers. Whereas someone like Naruto, who's very bad at controlling his chakra, converts 50% of his stamina into chakra when he only needed 30, and is so badly at initiating techniques for the jutsu that he only uses 10% of the chakra that he converted and only creates 1 shadow clone. This shows us that someone could use a lesser amount of chakra and still get a greater effect, given that she's literally like the mother of all chakra, to the point that she could be expending the least amount of her own chakra to move her dimensions, which is why I give the example that it doesn't take 1 to move 1, but 1 to move 5. Before anyone brings up Naruto, I know that Naruto has amazing durability feats, but let's not pretend that these durability feats are not a byproduct of him being a Jinchuriki. Naruto fans are mad at me for pointing out the...
So that was a very base one. I saved that one. I saved that one because it's not all bad, right? There are some individuals out there that do understand how the scaling works. So I saved that one to say, okay, cool. It's not all bad. You have people like Mystic Moni. And I'm not even going to go over anything he said because it should have made complete sense. It should have made complete sense. What is this one?
The Naruto power scaling echo chamber popping off these last couple of days. I just want to ask 2 questions. First, a lot of chain scaling in Naruto is predicated on characters being able to harm or being seen as relative to other stronger characters. The prime example being Naruto chained to Kaguya. Naruto is obviously weaker than Kaguya, but him being relative to her is really the linchpin for any crazy scale that...
You know, Jordan was completely right in his video, and the people who are trying to say that he was wrong just have never read Naruto. First of all, most people don't even know how the Naruto power system even works. They just go, oh, AP and DC, I know that within power scaling, so that means I'm just going to apply it to Naruto, even if it doesn't apply to Naruto. A perfect example, how is Naruto a city level character in the Pain arc? Because that's what they were scaling, because Pain destroyed the village. So they would say he's village or, you know, city level. Yet for some reason, Naruto is scared of falling. And yes, after he acquired Sage Mode, when he was falling off the rock, he quite literally was scared. So how is it that a power output to destroy a city, he was scared of falling down a few feet? Even if it's 100 feet, the velocity you're going to hit is not the amount that is going to destroy a city. But for some reason, he was scared of being significantly hurt by falling 100 feet. The narrative is this: you are not stronger than the attack that you have put out. The only way for a character to literally take an attack is if they have some type of ability to survive the attack. Naruto is able to survive many attacks because he has Kurama to literally regenerate him and heal him from injuries. If it wasn't for Kurama, he would have died to the majority of attacks that he was hit with. And I love when Naruto fans love to say, well, AP equals DC, it also equals your durability. Because of Newton's third law, AP has to, the power output you're putting out has to be able to.
We're gonna dismantle, cover, break down, and dismantle, break down, and deconstruct this Newton's third law shit. We're gonna break that down, bro. It is the most cope-filled. It is the most annoying because, especially, it's really misunderstood, misused principle of physics in power scaling, and one of them at least, one of them. We're gonna break that down. Not now in the presentation, but no.
Protect your hand. No, not how that works within Naruto either. How is Naruto able to get stabbed by this? Are you going to say that these rods are now city level rods? They now have the power output to destroy a fucking city, a village?
Okay. The only thing that Fallout lore here is doing wrong is his understanding of AP and DC is a little off, right? We wouldn't be saying that the rods can destroy a city. And this is, if it was the case, we wouldn't be saying the rods can destroy a city. No, we would be saying the person using the rods has city level AP because they can hurt Naruto. That's not the case. I'm saying, though, his misrepresentation of AP and DC is something I have to correct.
There's no way people are saying these things with absolute confidence. Naruto has always worked as you can be hurt by anything unless you have an ability to protect.
Take it easy,
yourself.
Michael.
Your durability, your physical strength has nothing to do with your durability. Your jutsu and how much your jutsu can destroy has nothing to do with your durability. Naruto is basically just hacks. It's just a hacks verse. Look at it like that, and that is Naruto's power system. And I want to make it very clear, Naruto characters do not scale to their chakra. People love saying that is the case. But keep in mind, to make the ETSO to be universal, they needed this.
We're going to break that down too. See, and I'm really patting myself on the back here because here's the thing. When I started off making this chakra scaling presentation, guys, what I did was I took all the things I knew that was being talked about. Before I even searched for this video, these TikTok videos and stuff like that, I took all the things that I knew were being talked about and said, they're gonna talk about this. They're gonna say this. They argue this. They mention this. They think this means that, so this means that. And I break it down. So the scaling to your chakra thing, that's in there too. That's in there too. Scale, everyone can do that. That's in there too. That's in there too. Your chakra being your durability, that's in there too. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. The only thing is, it probably won't get a lot of views because people aren't going to have the attention span to sit through it and actually understand it. But hey, it'll get done though. I know that it'll get done. So.
Same amount of chakra amount as Kaguya, as she was quite literally putting so much chakra into the attack to make it stronger, right? Naruto does not have the chakra amount as Kaguya does. So there's no way for him to make an attack that is universal.
Real quick, Kino, yes, I do have to check out that. I have to check that out, my fault. I said I was going to do it this weekend. I was busy. I'm going to check that out on screen today too.
So in power. Also, within the Boruto manga, again, the Boruto manga, this is Bluetooth Vortex, so this is the most current of the Naruto verse. When Boruto went against Code, he literally uses a move called Uzehiko, and somehow Code, who's this universal 5D being, as the Naruto fans and creators will say, how was he hurt and significantly damaged by a planetary attack? I'll say it again. How?
All right, we can stop here because I don't agree with most of this stuff anyway. Even if he's just using their arguments, I don't agree with how he's kind of framing this. So we can stop this one here. We got like a few more. Tech. All right, disclaimer. This guy that we're about to see here, Tech is probably the worst amongst them. He's probably the worst amongst them.
Where does it come from, you say? the same power scaling that any other.
Naruto is an incredible and enjoyable series, but let's be honest, some things in this show are just straight up dumb. Here are 6 dumb things in Naruto that we all just decided to ignore. Starting with the technology. Have you...
Not this one. Where are the liked ones? Because I'm pretty sure I have more of them liked. Oh, that's me. All right. No, not that. I gotta find all those videos. Did I not save them? Wow, I didn't save them or something, bro. Where's the volume? Okay, well that's fine. I think I've made my point with TikTok at least, so we can chill off of TikTok for now. Yo, I saw that Avada Kedavra. Oh my gosh, yo, that joint was funny. Hold up, hold up. You know that Voldemort joint. This joint is hilarious, bro. I don't know where my sound went. Where's my sound at? This joint was hilarious. Okay, right here. I don't wanna live that way. Wait a minute, what's going on? Yeah, this joint is fun. We're not gonna watch it, but yeah, that joint was funny. That Avada Kedavra joint. All right, I'm gonna catch up to some of the chats, then go all the way down. Then we're gonna move on to I'll check the notes, but yeah. Okay, Shisui is a filler merchant. Facts. Brother, there are only 2 chapters where Shisui appears on panel, yet you're trying to say he has a showing of creating physical speed clones in the manga. You're the one pretending. If we want to talk about someone making clones from raw speed, right where I read that. Tsunade, yes she is. Tsunade is a squishy ring type. She absolutely is. Hi lady, how are you? Morning. You okay? Are you okay? I'm in trouble. Good morning. Late, but Tsunade might be able to I read that. We make points. We provide the chapters. Facts. We do see clones take full-on beatings to sell the distraction. I think we only see that in the anime. If a clone, but again, Kuribo, you're still missing the point. It doesn't matter if a clone takes on it doesn't matter if a clone takes on a full-on beating. In fact, it would prove my point even more because the clone isn't more durable than the original Naruto. The clone would have more endurance than another clone, but it wouldn't make the clone more durable. So that's the issue here. Depends on how toxin works. I agree, and I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna do some research into that. But that was a really good point, John. If she could heal from Sasuke's poison, I like that. I never saw Tsunade do a shadow clone to begin with. I'm not saying she couldn't, but she just doesn't. She doesn't have Naruto's arsenal or tactics. I don't know how she would be able to beat Pain. Please, Ab-Stract, shut down this lunacy. Kuribo out here trying to say there's manga panels where Shisui creates physical speed clones like Samaru, but refuses to provide a chapter. We know what Kuribo does. We know Kuribo's MO. Kuribo's going to jump at and attack and defend anything slanderous or downplayish or true about Naruto as long as it doesn't go against, as long as it goes against his scaling, actually, yeah. I've been debating a lot of Naruto DB fans on Reddit this early today, holy. Yeah, this early. Yes, please. Thank you. I don't know if she even uses clones in the Itachi novels. Come on now. I've debates ki isn't spiritual and listed all the requirements for ki and debunked moron and spirit fusion arguments to just being hacks on physical beings and the usage of the word souls to being people. Interesting. And I've debated Naruto on the same old shit being Kaguya created her dimensions and me pulling out kanji panels to debunk it. Yeah. I'm probably one of the most uncomfortable person to debate against. I will press someone on a point until they either provide evidence or concede that point. Yeah, no. I mean, but that's what you got to do. Like when someone makes a claim, you got to put your foot on their neck until they either give out, tap out, or just like, hey, my fault. Let me run that back. Maybe that's not as true as I thought it was. So yeah, no, facts. John Maven says, Kino, what debunk do you see? What debunk do you use? Because I'm also against Uni Naruto. Curious about where your arguments are. John Maven says, Clotar, let's debate sometime. Hey, we got JJ in the cat. What's good, JJ? What's good? I'm good, bro. How are you? Kuribo says, John Maven, he doesn't use the clone technique. It's just his body flicker is that fast. Boy, oh boy. Give me the chapter. Right, exactly. Michael says, could Kimimaro versus Mr. One make for a good versus match? That match comes down to who's going to be able to cut steel first, because both of their bodies have extremely high resistance and durability. The thing, though, is Mr. One at that time, I don't think One Piece's speed scaling at that time is so above Naruto's, in fact, that Mr. One will be able to like pull off any decent blitzes. So it really just might come down to who's able to injure who first. But then again, Kimimaro has regen. If Kimimaro uses his strongest bone, he could probably damage Mr. One, his strongest one, that broke against Goddess thing. But it's still hard to say. It'd be a funny fight, though. I will not relent on this. Kuribo, you made a statement. Back it up with the chapter number, right? We got Lon Jax in the chat. What's good, Jax? How are you doing, bro? Yo, what's going on? What we doing on TikTok? Bro, we are looking at the madness that exists on TikTok. So I'll be making a presentation and presenting a presentation in video format and probably live format. And a lot of my references for the presentation are going to come from TikTok, because TikTok just has as much crazy people as Twitter, apparently. Yoruichi would neg diff Tsunade. Oh, no, absolutely. There's not a thing Tsunade can do to Yoruichi. Not a thing. In combat or in gravure calendars. Okay, yeah. Utsasemi and Gemoso need to only give the illusions of mass, right? No. The illusions of mass? When you say the illusions of mass grid, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. The illusions of mass? What we physically see is that two Zamaris are stabbing Byakuya. What we physically see is that Byakuya is cutting down Zamari or Zamaris. And that his attacks are making physical contact. What we physically see is Zamari actually bleeding. And he calls them quasi-clones. So I really don't know. I think it depends on how you're using illusion, though. Jack says, I don't know why I've always thought your PFP was Blackbeard wearing Luffy's straw hat, but it's Captain Hook, right? Yeah, it's definitely Captain Hook. It's always funny, yeah. Who's the clown AV was watching? I don't know. That video was awful. Nothing but straw man. So many jutsu have the sole function of doing more damage than the user can physically do. That's the whole jutsu equals stats thing. Feels intentionally dishonest. I agree. Hold on. Sleeping.
And then I woke up.
When I left?
Yeah. And then I was chilling in bed, texting my friends.
You don't have any friends. I'm your only friend.
I'm trying to decide how to go about today. You know I'm sleeping in Laurel tonight, right?
Where?
In Laurel.
Why?
Because tomorrow we're packing up your place.
Oh, yeah, you did say that, yeah. Should I go to my friend's house?
We should come to Laurel. Where you will also sleep. Bring your church clothes.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Thank you.
Why do you want to go to Laurel, though?
Because that's where our base point will be.
It's closer to Columbia, though. I mean, Columbia is closer to church.
And Laurel's closer to my job.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, no. My strawberries. I dropped one.
You should wash it and eat it.
No.
Well, yeah. Anyway, before you continue your live, you're still alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have the bags out from under the bed so you can bring them with you. And if you want to grab one or two bins, you already have your own bins, but just in case you need one extra one. And tell Tay I will be packing up this side of the room too. So
Mm-hmm.
be prepared. And
I will.
if you get the chance today and you go to Laurel, can you buy big garbage bags?
I'm not going anywhere.
You're going to Laurel.
Today?
Yes.
Oh, you mean like at the end of the night? Yes, my fault. I thought you meant like in the middle of the, yeah. You said big garbage bags?
Yeah. We
Can you
can
text it?
get them tomorrow, but yes. Not mine. Mine are small.
Hmm.
And these drip.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Leave me alone now, please.
Do a list.
Actually, yes, please. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Newton's third law doesn't mean jack for fiction. Like it does, but it has to be contextualized, I believe. He's conflating AP and DC. I believe he was, so I'll give you that. The Newton's third law argument works in a series like Dragon Ball where Goku's beams push him back as he fires them. But when have we ever seen kinetic backlash from a jutsu in Naruto? That's a good point. If anyone brings up Kitten, that's a special case as it uses natural lightning. Ab, you should really. Oh yeah, I said that. Yeah, I'll definitely check out the. Let me add that to the list. Feat calculator. Ab-Stract, name one jutsu in Naruto that has shown physical kinetic backlash on the user besides Kitten, as that uses natural lighting. When you say physical, okay, so physical kinetic backlash, so basically them being moved from the force of their own attack in Naruto. Pain's almighty push, technically. So when Pain's using his almighty push on Ninetales Naruto, he can't actually move Ninetales Naruto, and he technically does take the kinetic backlash from his own almighty push. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying, like, for example, when you shoot a shotgun, there's kinetic recoil or backlash from the shotgun. That backlash isn't present when someone shoots a fireball jutsu or when someone does a lightning attack or any other attack. Zaku doing a sound blast, it's not present. So, no, I definitely get what you're saying. Fire. Rasengan, Bijubam, Rasen Shuriken, enhanced punches and kicks. Newton's third law only applies for striking strength. Anything that works on energy on elemental manipulation is far separated from the principle to correlate. I would even agree with that. We're gonna get to the third Shinigami. We're almost done. Tsunade is a tank healer type. What has she tanked? Kuribo. You can't just say it. What has she tanked? Grid. Generally, what has Tsunade tanked? She always gets harmed and then regens. That is literally her whole shtick. She would not need the regen if she was a tank. We understand that much, don't we? How do I put ad blocker on my phone? I do not know. Yo, Ab-Stract, can you send me a link to your Twitter? I think so. Where's my Discord at?
What is happening in Howard County, honestly? Like, what's going on? Just the other day
Body that you used to know. Ha, I'm number one. Take that, Kuribo. That's hilarious. We got Tom Foolery in the chat. What's good, Brody? Do you see the recent Keys video regarding Bleach speed? Bro is saying Bleach is only sub-relativistic. I was talking about Bleach speed in the Discord, and we'll get into it when I make a formal Bleach speed video, because there's a lot of things to consider when you talk about speed. It's probably one of the most annoying things to discuss, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we'll get into that. Shining bright for everyone. Hey, we got Rex. What's good, Rex? Where you been at, bro? Hey, what's up? Just watch out for Aizen's finger. Akirito Zangetsu. Man, I would be following TikTok scaling, but shit's banned in my country. Oh, really? Dang, that's crazy. It's actually banned? Well, actually, no. Your government or your country is probably doing the right thing, because TikTok is nothing but brain rot, to be honest with you. So, a lot of good information, but a lot of stupidness and foolishness on there, too. Kino says, I keep disappearing because I'm actively in Reddit debates. I'll put a pause on them since they don't seem to be ending. Got you. My rightful place is number one. Kuribo's hilarious. I don't trust TikTok scaling at all, not gonna lie. TikTok motherfuckers don't know jack. You know, yeah, so the TikTok scalers are full of the YNs. Everyone from 18 to 25 and younger. Twitter at least has the 25-year-olds and up, but also some younger people, but they at least have 25-year-olds and up. TikTok is absolutely crazy. Debating one person is way better than debating multiple people all at once. I agree. You're going to change your PFP, but your user will be the same. Okay, got you. Kuribo says Bleach speed is highly questionable. All these series speeds are highly questionable in my opinion. Lon says Ki doesn't apply nearly enough skepticism to Naruto or Chainsaw Man compared to Dragon Ball or Bleach and One Punch. It's crazy how much of his scaling for Naruto would collapse if he did. Yeah, no. I think that was always my biggest thing with him. Like, he doesn't apply the same scrutiny to Naruto, else he would never say the things he says about Naruto. Ki even used the novel's Bleach scalers often misinterpret, actually showing the pages on screen. Bleach has no FTL feats. What the fuck are you smoking? I can name like 10 off the top of my head. Look at Kuribo trying to start shit again. Yep. Where are my glasses? Thank you, Grid. Becca, have you seen my my blue light glasses?
They should be in that bin.
The bin? Nah, they're not in the bin. I think I might have moved them.
Are they in your backpack? Oh, we'll see them.
Thank you, Grid. I'll go find those. I need to find those. I thought they're usually right by my side though. That's crazy. Appreciate that, Grid. I did turn down my brightness though, so I'm not getting the full I did turn down my brightness. Okay. Ichigo reacting to Seto. Ishida moving faster than light can cast a shadow. A heavily nerfed Hisagi dodging the Negacion. Kisuke clowning on Bala, which is 20 times Seto's speed. Bleach characters constantly dodge light speed attacks such as Seto's, depending on the user. The faster the Seto. Shunsui dodging thousands of Setos at once. Nanao, someone with fodder stats, was able to put her sword in time to intersect Lily's blasts, which are literally light. There's no light speed attacks in Bleach. Lil Tato dodging the Australian. Alright, let me go down. I'm going to go down, then we're going to start reading Shinigami's thread. Your TV was loud for a second. Interesting. Kino, it's ratty and I never use it in good faith, but the Garganta is infinite. Yuha is going to destroy the Garganta using his black Reiatsu tendrils, and every god tier can react to it. The Setos have no confirmed speed. TikTok is brain rot, but the edits are fire though. I will give them that. TikTok edits are fire. My girlfriend gave me an Apple Chat. I don't know what an Apple Chat is. She got me. Jack says, well, thanks for clarifying. Kai says, everything in the realm outside of the living world is made from reishi, including light itself. This is true. Kino says, true, but Grid. Kino says to Grid, true, but even your argument is a little iffy because once his black Reiatsu entered the area where people were, you'd have to argue that was also in infinite speeds. Okay. Kai says, living world is made of Kishi, which is the physical world's equivalent to Reishi, and all things in the living world is made with Kishi, which also has a soul. True. Bleach's travel speed and combat speed are way different. Yes and no. Yes and no. Because I'm of the belief that travel speed. No, I'm sorry. I'm of the belief that combat speed can bleed into travel speed, or vice versa. So you can necessarily get one from the other, I believe, but one doesn't always have to be predicated upon the other. I think how fast someone can travel can definitely go into their combat speed. But just because you're a slow combat speed fighter doesn't mean... Or no, I'm sorry. Just because you are a fast combat speed fighter doesn't mean you can travel that fast. So, yeah. She gave me an actual apple. Oh, okay. All right, bet. So let's get into Shinigami's thread real quick. I gotta get into Shinigami's thread. I gotta read Dr. Strangle, aka Acolyte's Epilogue's legalistic view of Naruto or Genjutsu. And then there was one more thing I had to check too. I'll be right back. Oh, God, I put the volume all the way up. That's terrible. My fault, guys. I had the volume all the way up. Y'all probably heard all that. I apologize. That was wild, man. Okay, whatever. I'll act like that didn't happen. Okay, so ways Bleach has around Genjutsu. This is to skip the whole verse equalization phase of the arguments and provide Bleach fans with some potential counter-arguments to Genjutsu that I am yet to see a valid counter to. I thought about it for some time. All right, cool. So what I'm interested to see here is that if me and Shinigami have any overlapping counters for Genjutsu. Okay, how long is it? All right. Keep in mind, they won't work for all Genjutsu. That's not the point. The point is to focus on the ones most people will use. It's the ocular Genjutsu, the ones that use the senses as a catalyst and inject chakra into the cranial nerves and affect your chakra network. Nice. Is this from Shisui? Applying the jutsu, the ninja insights and awareness into the target that they were caught in a genjutsu, leading the target to doubt everything and get caught up in the jutsu. Or else the target unconsciously sank bit by bit into the jutsu so that by the time they realized what was going on, there was nothing they could do about it. This Kodo Matsukami fell into the latter category, which wasn't particularly uncommon for a visual jutsu. The advantage of this technique is that the effect and the duration are both multiplied because of the power of the Manga Sharingan, Shisui added. As if urging him to explain more Itachi's. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So for the visual jutsu of the Sharingan, your gaze has to intersect. Right. So we got that. Nice. Going to reference these videos and their basis for how Genjutsu works for reliability's sakes. But maybe because chakra works on objects, it should work on people. LOL. Right. What are these videos? Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Oh, snap. Shout out to Ab-Stract in the Ab-Stract section. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's my name again?
Huh?
What's my name again?
What do you mean?
Miss Abstraction or something?
Oh, yes. Ab-Stract. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're referencing the 2 types of Genjutsu by the Ab-Stract. Maybe we should watch these too. No, we should. Well, I'm not going to watch these. You guys can watch these on your own time. But this video was essentially breaking down the 2 types of Genjutsu to explain those being real-time illusions and the other ones being mental attacks. And I don't think I had the terminology as ironed out as I do today. But that's essentially what it was. Real-time illusions versus mental attacks. Those are the 2 types of Genjutsu that you'll see. Oh, wait, no. Mental illusions. Visual illusions. Okay, yeah, so real-time illusions and mental attacks, yeah. But that's what's up. So we're referencing that one, and...
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code.
Uh-oh, it's me again. Let's go.
This is based...
Shout out to Shinigami, bro. Shout out to Shinigami. Why Genjutsu fails crossverse. Yes. Very, very... Hey, if you're quoting me, you know you're good. You know you're good because you know I've done the research. You know I put in the time. I put in the work. I looked at the evidence. It's clean. So, okay, cool. Going to reference these videos and their basis for how Genjutsu works for reliability's sake. Appreciate that. All right. This is a universal rule. Reiatsu is both passive and active force, but the passive force emits a barrier that is intrinsic across the whole body, with it even being applied as a force that can pulverize or slow down targets. True. So the evidence here, we have, of course, the famous Kenpachi line. If your spiritual pressure is weaker than mine, when 2 spiritual forces collide, the weaker one gets absorbs the impact, right? It feels like his spiritual pressure is pulverizing me. I can't even move a finger. Blast. He was far beyond my reach. I had no choice. It isn't the weight of his spiritual pressure blunting my movements. I'm actually slowing down. What are we talking about? What actually are we talking about? Spiritual pressure has some crazy side effects. The only thing I would say next time, Shinigami, is highlight or circle in red the important parts you want us to get. Because this is a lot of good evidence, but I don't have time to read everything, but I understand all this stuff, so we're good. So yeah, this is a universal one. Reiatsu is both passive and active force, but the passive force emits a barrier that is intrinsic across the whole body, with it even being applied as a force that can pulverize or slow down targets. Facts. Due to this, Genjutsu, depending on the quality, not only needs to bypass the external force, but also the force that will occur sprung from the Reiatsu, producing organs. True. Which due to being the producers should be the strongest regions. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Genjutsu would have to deal with the external force that the Reiatsu gives off. And then let's just say it bypassed the external force. The internal mechanism of how Reiatsu works. First off, we understand Reiatsu is a heating property. It's energy. It's heated energy. So the Genjutsu would have to contend with that. And then all the other the wrists, the heart, because that is where Reiatsu comes from. Then the wrist, it would have to deal with all that stuff. Think of it like pushing a tank or even another object across a waterfall. Reikaku works in that the people stop fighting with their conventional eyes and subconsciously use their spiritual senses instead. This would outright negate the main component of most Genjutsu. So yeah, for real-time illusions, this is absolutely true. For real-time illusions, this is absolutely true. And it's funny that this is the example Shinigami is using because it actually demonstrates the exact reverse. So Lillebaro's Reikaku is so strong. It's so strong that he sees the illusion of spiritual pressure as clear as the actual person. What that means also, though, is that any type of illusion that someone is doing, he'll be able to see through it immediately. The only reason this worked on him, it was because Shunsui was pulling some Shunsui shenanigans. Like he made an exact replica of himself with spiritual pressure, left it while he moved, and yeah, so. But yeah, this is outright seeing this, like they can literally see the spiritual energy. So like real-time illusions wouldn't really be effective. We're talking roughly 80 to 90% of them because the characters are no longer using the catalyst for Genjutsu to work. Hold up, let me read that again. Reikaku works in that the people stop fighting with their conventional eyes and subconsciously use their spiritual senses instead. This would outright negate the main component of most Genjutsu. Then he says, we're talking roughly 80 to 90% of them because the characters are no longer using the catalyst for Genjutsu. Okay, yeah. So yeah, correct. They're not using their physical eyes to like actually see and stuff. They're using their spiritual senses, their Reikaku. So yes, that's correct. Keep in mind, we never saw how this sense looks like physically, so they wouldn't know to use it as a catalyst. This especially would help Quincy's. The Quincy's absorption. Funny I mentioned them, but anyway, the main point would focus on their matter manipulation. They can convert matter into energy, which requires subatomic level matter manipulation, and they can control reishi through their veins, hence blut. Correct. We got another video. A nuclear reaction is a process where an atomic nucleus changes by colliding with another particle or nucleus, resulting in transmutation into new elements, isotopes, along with energy release. Nice. This is the worst thing for a Genjutsu user who rely on foreign invasion for their techniques to work. Some might say, we never saw it happen, but it doesn't respond to the argument because it tells us exactly nothing, especially since most absorption in Naruto isn't Quincy. Don't know if I understand that one too much. Depending on how you could take it, they would be one and the same point. Okay, depending on how they might be one and the same point. And also for one of them, if we accept verse equalization, hollow Reiatsu is stated to be poisonous, which weakens Reiatsu and leads to death, with the Shinigami having antibodies versus it. Okay. So the argument would be chakra is a foreign energy from a foreign thing, just like hollow Reiatsu is foreign. But Shinigami have defenses against hollow Reiatsu. So would their bodies create defenses and antibodies for chakra-based Reiatsu or chakra spiritual energy, right? So it's a fair point. Ora Mishibane has also proven you can use full brain constructs to weaken the target at hand. In essence, if the Genjutsu is used on either of those two, they can make the effectiveness of the ability diminish. Now that's interesting. I'm not going to read the entirety of the of this novel, but gotcha. Much like the Quincy point, this is something Genjutsu isn't proven to have a resistance to. Though not everyone can do it, especially the Fullbring one. This last one is more speculative, but basically all Shinigami in a Rancor, as a result of having a similar anatomy, have Reiatsu vents that leave the body to prevent excess. When Kisuke plugged Aizen's vents, he exploded from within due to the excess. So in total, wouldn't it be funny if the Genjutsu chakra was used to accidentally amp the character, LOL? That's a funny thought. I don't think it would work like that, simply because when people are giving chakra in Naruto, it usually has some type of effect, either like healing or something else, but no such effect happens when Genjutsu happens. Genjutsu is a specific function, so if it's meant to do what it's doing, it's not going to do anything else like heal somebody or something like that, but it's a funny thought. And that's it. There are some more on hand that can be discussed, like certain Kido being used to see through illusions, Ashishido Zanpakuto Cosmic Awareness, and so much more, but these are the basic ones. Feel free to say which ones are the greatest. Yeah, very nice. Very nice, very nice. And he did all this without mentioning Zanpakuto interference. He did all this without mentioning the fact that for mental attacks, at least, if we're arguing that Genjutsu does attack the soul, literally, if you're a Shinigami, if you're a Quincy, if you're a Shinigami, if you're a Hollow, at least, I don't know about Quincy's or Fullbringers, but those other two racial classifications literally have defenses within their very own souls to protect from things that would affect their like inner being soul. So there's that too. Yeah, no, very, very nice thread. Shinigami avoided a lot of the things that I probably would have said. So that's really good. That's really good. But he did have a lot of things that I would have said in there too. So, or he had a few things I think I would have said in there. I like the toxicity argument in the antibodies argument. I think that's a good one. I like the where is it at? Yeah, I like the idea of the barrier around their bodies and the internal mechanisms of how that would work. Because it's just true, bro. It's just true. Literally, Bleach is predicated, and this is why in my video where we talk about the Bleach power system, this is why I specifically say Reiatsu clashes come down to any given instance of more energy or not. Any given instance. But that's really going to be predicated upon the person's AP, which we can actually get from Bleach, though. We can actually get that. You can't tell me that because Itachi can do a fireball jutsu or Amaterasu or Sasuke can do Chidori, that his Genjutsu chakra is going to be just as potent. You can't tell me that. What I can tell you, though, is that Ichigo's sword swings have to be as potent as his other attacks, else they would not work in the series. Soifon's Nigeki Kasatsu, the sting, as well as the Reiatsu entering you, has to be as potent and effective, or else it will not work on stronger people. And let me clarify this, because stronger, I don't just mean a little bit stronger. No, I'm talking about people that like would absolutely eclipse her. Squad Zero, Yama, Aizen, people like that. Those fell.
Give me the blueberry.
They fell back. You don't eat them. It's dirty. Don't eat them.
Sorry, did I interrupt your flow state?
No. You're good. Grid says Toshido manipulates normal baseline water, then enhances it with spiritual pressure. Hollows gather natural Reiatsu light and enhance it, etc. Exactly, yeah, because Toshido says all water is his weapon. Literally all water. It doesn't matter if it's spiritual, natural, if it's formed from magic, all water. If you consider it water, he can manipulate it and control it. At least that's what I took from when he said it, at least. Genjutsu amping Aizen would be hilarious. It would be very hilarious. Hollows get stated to be poisonous to Quincy. So the thing is this, though. Hollow Reiatsu has an effect. Well, no. Reiatsu in general has an effect to where it can stop certain effects in the series. For example, when Ichigo gets his wound from Ulquiorra, even though he's a Shinigami, Ulquiorra's wound has such strong spiritual pressure that Orihime can't reject it. I'm supposed to be saving this for the video and how her scaling goes into all that, but Orihime can't reject it, which tells us that Reiatsu itself has properties that can affect other spiritual beings. Even if it's not poisonous, it has certain effects that can affect other spiritual beings. And this is from each and every other race, too. Mind you, when Ichigo does his Getsuga Tensho on Aizen off guard after he gets hit with Yama's Itokaso, and Aizen literally like grabs his Reiatsu and says, "Oh my gosh, this Reiatsu, it's maturing nicely." He has to get it at, like, it's physically in his body. You absorb Reiatsu in fights, which means you're absorbing other people's energy in fights. So the question would be, if you're trying to shoot Genjutsu chakra energy, spiritual energy at me, one, why would it pass my passive barrier? What's it scaling? What is it scaling? How does it, like, what's exactly happening? We understand why Kyokusui Getsu would work, even though we're not even going to give it the same constraints. Aizen's stronger than everyone, so it's going to work on them. It's It's going to work on them. But yeah. Unless stated otherwise, which Bleach is. So yes, okay. Wait, would the natural reishi events kind of just filter out Genjutsu chakra naturally? It might. And so here's the thing with that. You can't stop the flow of Reiatsu, right? Reiatsu will always be pumping. So let's say Genjutsu was entered through some sort of medium. Why wouldn't it just be flushed out through the vents? Why wouldn't it? Could you argue why it wouldn't? You know, there's a scene for when Ukitake is doing the kamikake. We actually get to see his organs and stuff like that. You know what he doesn't have? A chakra network. Just thought I'd bring that up. Irrelevant. Don't even harp on it. He doesn't have it, though. The argument for... Okay, I read that. Despite Yamamoto's factually burning his opponent, his fire is made known not to actually be, but characters like Toshiro, Sorofo, and Yodoichi are using the actual element just in Reishi. Correct. We are skipping diverse equalization and limitations, or else the thread is pointless since Genjutsu only works in Naruto, generally speaking. Correct. Zach says, Kuribo, they would immediately be able to tell, as Genjutsu does not seem to affect spiritual senses. That too. Kuribo, this thread literally explains why Genjutsu wouldn't even start to affect characters in Bleach, let alone the entire process happening. Exactly. Hey, we got Dr. Strangle in the chat. What's good, bro? Sorry, friend.
It's okay, you're not annoyed.
Oh.
Do you have an extra glass?
An extra glass? No, I do not. I might be misunderstanding Bleach's power system, but aren't they using their own energy to create these attacks like Toshido, like their Reiatsu or Reiku, or are they just kind of Reishi? Yeah, so they are using, depending on what kind of attack we're talking about. Like, for example, Grid was correct in saying that Toshido can manipulate water. Whether it's his or an existing source of water, even like Holly Bells, he can manipulate it and he uses his own Reiatsu to enhance it. But he can also just create his own ice. He can just create his own ice. Hollows use their Reiku to create their Setos and their Balas and stuff like that. So yes, they do use their own energy to create attacks. Even the Keto Shinigami haven't used are what they are, and there is Keto that manipulates the light to make yourself invisible. True. Reiatsu just has borderline negation hacks. Negation hacks is a real thing in versus battles. True. Zach says, Ab-Stract, remember how Yamamoto was able to see through Kyokusu Getsu by using his spiritual sense to know he was holding the real Aizen? I do remember that, yeah. And honestly, I don't think that's a feat that everyone could probably pull off. I don't think that's a feat that everyone could pull off. If they were just sensing the spiritual part, chakra, then that guy from Chunin exam with the clones all having chakra but no physical mass would be a nightmare to fight. But the point is, they would be able to distinguish. They would be able to distinguish that and actually see it, though. So it's twofold for Bleach because, number one, we're already dealing with characters that are inherently invisible to people without spiritual senses. Shunsui takes this a step further and solidifies spiritual pressure. He takes it a step further and solidifies spiritual pressure. He then leaves that there. Right? Mind you, Lille is viewing everything through the lens of spiritual pressure. Lille's not thinking that someone's going to solidify an image of themselves with just pure energy. Because mind you, that's what he's tracking. So that's what he's tracking. In Naruto, this would look like either like a very faint chakra signature of the person, which probably wouldn't be too convincing. And then it's like, are you fast enough to replace yourself with your own clone like Shunsui did? I don't think they are. Or because we don't really know how the illusions that are not mental attacks work, right? We don't know if they're projecting chakra into the world. We don't know what they're doing as far as that is going on. Although it'd probably be like more so projecting chakra into the world. It would appear as just chakra, but that's the thing. That's the thing. All right. So anyways, anyway, thanks for the talk, but I gotta go. Thanks for indulging my questions, Grid and Kai. Yeah, no, take it easy, Jax. Nice having you, bro. No problem. Most characters create their abilities from Reiatsu. I don't like to apply the baseline to this kind of stuff, but some characters, Toshido, Quincy, and some Hollow, use existing reishi. True. Are we still in the stream title, or have we moved on to a different topic? So yeah, we've moved on to several topics. The stream title is a lightly touched upon discussion. So we started with, like, can Kimimaro beat someone like Darui? Because I have a Kimimaro video coming out, or in the works. I just have to do the voice recording and all the other stuff. But, you know, I'm thinking Kimimaro is around, like, really top tier, high Jonin to Kage level. Some people think Darui is beating him, and I'm just like, I don't see how Darui is beating Kimimaro at all. He doesn't have the feat. He doesn't have the AP to bring down someone like Kimimaro. And I can say that because Kimimaro has actually good durability. Normally, I wouldn't need to say that. Normally, I wouldn't need to say someone doesn't have the AP to bring someone down. But no, you actually do need AP to bring down Kimimaro because Kimimaro has actually some good durability scaling. So yeah, that's like saying blasting off ninjutsu could clear out Genjutsu. That's like saying blasting off ninjutsu could clear out Genjutsu. I don't know what that means, Kuribo. Kuribo, now you're not even understanding the verse you claim to know, because I don't know when Jutsu could flush out Genjutsu just by... Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. The fact Kuribo is trying to claim the Bleach stuff for Naruto is insane. This is what I mean. I don't see people give a valid counter argument to my stuff. Are you okay? Do you want to read? You can't read. It's okay. Not you can't read. I'm saying you can't read. You got a little something on your lip. I don't see a barrier stopping Genjutsu. Even when someone weaker was using Kyokusui, the barrier never came up. His Kyokusui was worse, but a barrier never a factor. What? Yeah, because Kyokusui doesn't inject any energy into you. I don't understand how we don't get this, Kuribo. Kyokusui isn't... First off, even if it did inject energy into you, Aizen is stronger than all the people he'd be injecting Reiatsu into. So that's number one. I don't see a barrier stopping Genjutsu. Let me ask you this. Can Itachi Genjutsu someone through a mud wall? Can he do it without seeing them? Can he actually, like, do a mental attack Genjutsu without them seeing them? If not, then a Genjutsu would not be able to pierce a barrier, and you'd be incorrect. He'd be incorrect, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd be incorrect. Becca just said, Ab-Stract just said you'd be incorrect. So, I mean, it has to be true at that point. Don't debate with my wife. Don't do it. Yeah. What was the other thing? Even when someone weaker was using Kyokusui, the barrier never came up. Even someone weaker. Are you talking about Tokinada? Tokinada is about as strong as Yoruichi and Shunsui. Who did he use it on exactly? Because you understand, if you're relative, your ability is still going to work, right? Relativity means your ability is going to work. You know that, right? Or you don't know that. I really don't know what you know at this point, Kuribo. By the way, I have a question for you. Oh, Ab-Stract, by the way, I have a question for you. We know that Hakufuku, the technique Momo used to knock out their cell guards, is a Bakudo. What level do you think it is? I'd say it's in the mid-60s. I'd probably say like in the 30s, the 20s. I don't see Hakufuku being that strong of a technique, honestly. It might have been the same one that Shinji used on Ishida without naming it too. I could see it probably being in the 40s maybe. 40s to 60s maybe. Dr. Strangle says average grind set. Wake up at 6 a.m. to beat up on the punching bag at the gym. Ab-Stract grind set. Wake up at 6 a.m. to beat up scaling nodes, bad scaling on screen. Facts, bro. Let's go. What are we talking about, bro? Yeah. Yeah, no, real shit. That's dope though. I'm glad you're active in the gym, bro. That's really good. That's because Kyokusui isn't Genjutsu. Like Shinigami, why would he be looking for things that Genjutsu does in what Kyokusui can do when they're different things? They don't operate the same. Kyokusui only requirement is that you look at it. Just like Shunsui's, just like Shinji's technique only requires that you be able to smell or perceive Tsunade. It doesn't need a passive barrier. As long as you can smell it or perceive it, you're under the inverted world technique. Stop thinking that Naruto is Bleach and stop thinking that Bleach is Naruto, Kuribo. Please. But hey, Ab-Stract, thanks for reading the thread. I'll take notes on that. Maybe I will more so just zoom in on certain portions. Yeah. Either just zoom in on certain portions or just like red highlight or red circle what you want, read and understood, or just highlight it. Kyoki Subigetsu is an illusion. Genjutsu is Japanese for illusion. Yeah, and illusion can mean different things. Illusion can mean different things. The thing is this. There are no real-time illusions in Naruto that actually have... Well, actually, are there any real-time illusions in Naruto that actually have like mass tangibility, can like actually fool you, that they're not like fake things? Because that's what Kyogo Suigetsu is doing. It's actually making reality comport to as if it wasn't an illusion. That's the thing. With reality warping abilities. Zach says, wrong. Genjutsu is Japanese for reality. It's a poetic play on false reality. I'm fluent in Japanese, so I will happily check you here. Oof. Get him. Kuribo says, we were talking about Reiatsu vents flushing the system. You take a while to catch up. Yes, because I'm reading the chat, but yes. I believe the question is why wouldn't it work though, right? Why wouldn't it work? Yeah, because that's how Bleach system works. We know that doesn't work like that for Naruto. Exactly. It's established and explained to us through how their systems work. Yeah. See, Shinigami, unlike Chakra in Naruto and ninjas, Shinigami, Hollows, Fullbringers, and Quincy, they're always giving off their energy no matter what. You can't stop it unless you like forcefully stop it with a seal. They're always giving off their energy. So while Naruto energy is circulating around in their bodies and not leaving unless they want it to, in Bleach, they're always giving off energy. Hence why Kenpachi, is weaker than the spirit energy leaking out of me unconsciously. Hence why that's a thing, right? Because the energy is unconsciously leaking out of him through his vents, covering his whole body because it's emitting. It's an emissive thing. Yeah. Doesn't happen in Naruto. Well, Genjutsu can mean illusionary technique. However, the specific kanji used for Genjutsu in manga is reality. It's a little weird that they didn't go with the obvious kanji. Where was it said the entire system is flushed? No. I think you're misunderstanding. It's not that the entire system is flushed. The thing is, their power system works by their hearts or their tamashi generating reiruku. That reiruku permeates their konpaku. After it permeates their konpaku, it gets released through their wrists. After the Reiatsu permeates their konpaku, it gets released through their wrist. So if you're saying if someone's inserting Genjutsu chakra into them, right? I'm saying, why wouldn't that energy, first off, how's it going to get past the energy? But fine, let's assume it gets past the energy. There is no chakra network. Why wouldn't that energy flow with the same energy that the Reiruku or Reiatsu is flowing with and get flushed out through the wrists? Why wouldn't that happen? Because it's a perfectly reasonable and logical explanation of why it wouldn't work, actually. It's an in-canon, not even being disingenuous reason as to why it wouldn't work. I don't understand why it wouldn't work, actually, but hey, The third was trying to equalize. If you want me to treat them properly, Bleach has no defense to Naruto's Genjutsu. To Naruto's Genjutsu? To Naruto's illusion? Yeah, equalize to skip Ab-Stract's whole process, which we know you can't overcome. Exactly. The one Mizukage with the giant clam. Yeah. Well, no. The Mizukage's giant clam, he didn't have mass and tangibility. He didn't have mass or tangibility. The Powerscaling calculator metric site touches on basic stuff everyone knows, but the simple fact it exists is extraordinary, and it's unfortunate no one knows who uses it, but you could definitely... we're going to look at it. Promote it. We're going to look at it. But I did equalize it, and so Genjutsu can't work on the Bleach verse regardless. Get past the passive Reiatsu barrier. Thank you. You got the link for this site? I do. Careful, Ab-Stract. You're using too many complicated words for Kuribo. You might short circuit his AI generated brain. Chill, bro. Chill. We got the king in the chat. Could you send the link, please? Do you have any schedule for streaming and releasing videos? Hey, Tom, I don't have a schedule, bro. I don't have a schedule. My schedule right now is so compacted and not compact. It's so extensive that I feel like if I did commit to streams, I might not be able to fulfill that burden. Here's the thing. And I always say this. If we want more streams from Ab-Stract, that means less video content. If we want more video content, that would mean less streams. This, like, the reason why we've gotten down to 1 stream a week is because when I come home, I either go to the gym, do some light studying, like maybe light reading, light scaling, and then I'm working on a presentation, or I'm working on a video, or I'm working on a scale, or I'm spending time with my wife playing Monopoly. She's in jail, by the way. She is in jail, by the way. But yeah, anyways. Oh, what's that? Anyways, I can't commit to a schedule. Not yet. I can't commit to a schedule yet. We're also in the process of moving and getting married in Liberia, so I can't commit to a schedule just yet. But yeah. Kyoka Suigetsu is a 4-character idiom borrowed from Chinese meaning mirror, flower, water, moon, right? Or the flower that exists in the mirror, or the moon that exists on the water surface. That's so cool. I like that. Yo, Ab-Stract, remember when the Bount arc was mentioned in a public court case? I do. Yo, did you send me the link for that? Zach, did you send that, bro? I remember that being referenced or brought up, bro. No. Was it YNW Melly's case? I think it was YNW Melly's case or something like that. Really interesting. No, I'm saying the Mizukage clan had a physical presence to it despite being a genjutsu. A physical presence to it? What do you mean by that? Like, it could be seen in, like, reality, but I don't think, like, when you say physical presence to it, yeah, like, what do you mean? Break that down for me, Kai. All right, let me look at this calculator. Yes, it was YNW Melly. Okay, yeah. Nice. Free Melly, even though he definitely did that shit. All right, hold up. Hey, Kino. Let me talk to you, Kino. If this is what I think it is, keep this on the down low. You keep this to this stream and this chat and these people. You don't give it to the people who are going to abuse this and mess it up. Don't blow up the spot. Keep this on the down low. All right. This website provides physics-informed models for quantitatively scaling fictional characters. The framework is designed to make structured power analysis more accessible, more consistent, and easier to apply without requiring formal training in physics. Nice. Shit. The not eating is getting to me. The models are derived from core conservation laws and reduced order physical abstractions. There I am. That's me right there. Abstractions. Implemented with clearly defined assumptions to reflect how feats are typically presented in fiction while simplified, they prioritize internal consistency and cross-scenario compatibility over exhaustive physical simulation. I like that. I like what I'm hearing. We got to see, though. Each tool is a plug and play. Select the model, enter the available inputs, and generate results instantly. Whether new to scaling or experienced, this hub aims to lower the barrier to quantitative analysis while keeping all methods transparent, reproducible, and open to refinement. Nice. Keep an eye out for the exclamation point icons. You do not need any prior physics knowledge to use any of these models correctly. Each model lists the derivations. Why am I messing up this word? Did he mess up that word or am I messing up this word? Derivations. Oh my god. It's because I haven't eaten. Derivations, assumptions, clearly listed inputs, common values, and other quality of life information which can be accessed by clicking the icons. Nice. Try it. Information will be located here. Dope. What you can do here. This site allows you to move beyond raw energy values and evaluate how attacks actually interact. It allows you to calculate the total energy of a fictional feat, convert energy into pressure, force, or heat flux, depending on the mechanism, compare attacks based on their physical output, evaluate whether an attack exceeds a character's durability and the extent of the damage, analyze movement, combat, and reaction speeds to determine blitz outcomes. Okay, hey. Kino, keep this on the low. Hear me out. The last thing we need is them getting a hold of something like this. Keep this on the low. All right? I know you've probably already told at least like 15 to 20 people. Stop right there. Keep it on the down low. All right. Because in the wrong hands, this could get very like annoying. But no, I'm just playing. Do what you will. Do what you will, bro. Okay. How's this site structured? The tabs button in the top left corner allows you to toggle the visibility of all general model varieties that are available. Within any general model section are more specific models in relation to the overarching theme. However, these overarching models are separated into 4 main categories: the energy tab, the kinematics tab, the damage tab, and the mechanism tabs. The energy tab is akin to traditional power scaling, which allows the calculation of total energy required in regards to a specific feat. The mechanism tabs, which are a majority of the tabs, translate the total energy of a feat into more meaningful quantities such as pressure, force, or heat flux. Cool. So the only thing they're really missing is, well, we'll see. The damage tab is to compare attack output to durability in order to determine whether damage occurs and how severe it is. It is evident that these sections are connected. Energy feeds into mechanism, and mechanism determines damage. That just reminded me. Something else I have to add to this presentation that I'm doing is, and this, whoever made this site, or the people that made this site, are really insightful, pun intended. Because apparently I need to make a presentation on the correlation between AP and damage. I don't know how people don't understand it, but there is a clear correlation between AP. I'm sorry, not AP and damage, AP and durability. I don't know why I said that. I got to break it down for some people, because people aren't understanding it for some reason. All right, let me use this bathroom break real quick. Ugh. Okay. But okay, this site is cool. I like this site.
Why did you ask?
Oh, I was just curious, lady. Okay, I was about to say who be beating who in Monopoly. I don't think. Well, no, you can definitely win Monopoly. I'll say this right now. She has more money than me as it stands, but she's in jail and I'm not. So that should tell you all you need to know. Someone made a Kenpachi saying sampling the hook of Murder My Mind. Oh yeah, I have to check out your freestyle too, Zach. I have to check that out. Link. Also gonna go and be with my girlfriend or buy dinner. Nice Shinigami, nice. My Discord, cool. That will be useful for my manga, yeah. He said I'll gatekeep. Good. Mirai uses Genjutsu on the target running away, and Kodomatsukami was able to Kodomatsukami was target wherever the user decides. The Genjutsu is under the user's control. They won't allow it to just flow out. Mirai uses Genjutsu on the target while running away. I mean, I have to see it. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you understand Genjutsu can mean mental attack or real-time illusion. Which one did she do and how'd she do it? Like, what are you talking about? No one seems to get interested, even when I bring this website up anyways, laugh my ass off. That's hilarious. Yo, Ab-Stract, I sent you a DPS song about Kenpachi. Can you peep it at the end of the stream? Definitely, we can do that. Is this website moderated by anyone? Good question. It samples Murder on Mind. Okay, gosh, I'll check that out. I got this from a small power scaling YouTuber. He created it alone from what I've heard. Interesting. I wonder what's his channel? Have a presence and hurt people. Wait, physical presence, as the Mizukage said, it's not real, but it was actually physically attacking, like how Zoro has a technique that makes the illusion of multiple arms and swords. Oh, so like, if it's like, so I always looked at that as his physical presence as far as the illusion. He was, the illusion was in physical reality, and he was casting jutsu, almost like how those Rain Ninja had to throw kunai from the like shadow of their illusions. I don't think it's like physical jutsu. No, I think he's like was doing that water style jutsu from the clone's proximity, like making it appear there and then attacking from there. I don't know though. Well, no, I do know, but yeah. Have a physical presence hurt. Okay, yeah. Ab-Stract, yo, check Discord's DMs. Yeah, I'm going to check it out. Zach. I got you. Does it use AI? If it does, what AI it uses? Well, it's more of an interpolation than a sample. Okay, I got you. Okay, keep this like an anime pirating website. Gemini, ChatGPT, or Claude. You guys should actually check out GenSpark too. GenSpark's pretty good. I just started using GenSpark. It's actually what's helping me create my slides. So like, you don't inherently scale to your jutsu, Newton's third law, jutsu initiation, fire style. Yeah. So I'm using this to help me create my slides. GenSpark's pretty good. Enough free promo though. Excuse me, damn. All right. The claim is the only Genjutsu that I know of in Naruto that does this aside from Izanagi. Yeah, see, but like, I don't think his claim Genjutsu even does it though, bro. Like, if we go look at it, yes, his illusion is physically in reality, but to say it can cause damage, I don't think that's true. Like, because we got to remember, the Mizukage was there the whole time. He was just hiding. So it was likely him casting the ninjutsu and then them reacting. I don't think the clone was casting a Genjutsu, or I don't think the illusion was casting an illusionary Genjutsu and it had physical. I don't think that was happening. All right, let's go back to that, though. I did want to see that. Also, we will be checking out the legalistic argument against guidebooks. We will be doing that, but I think I want to save that for like an entire stream. Maybe tomorrow. No, I'll be busy tomorrow. If I have time tomorrow, we can definitely do that, though, Dr. Strangle. You already got one smart in the chat. It's over. Yup. What's good, Raggedy Red? How are you? Ab-Stract, I read that. Ab-Stract, send a link before I go. I sent you the TikTok link, Shinigami. Which one do you need? You deleted the freestyle? Why'd you delete the freestyle, bro? I was drunk when I sent it, and I did not claim it. Oh, man, that's hilarious. I was going to check it out, fam. It's cool. It's all right, though. The YouTuber I got this from is called SoCall. He sounds familiar. Watch this, I'm jinxing. SoCall. Oh, hold up, hold up. Is he talk? Hold up, hold up. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Let me go back, bro. Hold up. That looked eerily similar. Hold on, not that one. Wow. Wow. Do you guys remember? Hold up. Ayo. I can already trust this guy. I can already trust this guy because can't show y'all my presentation. Oh no. Don't look, you monsters. Okay. I can already trust this guy. Let me go here. Oh, wait, no. What am I doing? I'm stupid. I don't need to do that. I have it. Oh, no, I don't have it. Okay, whatever. Whatever. It's cool. I'll just do it like this. Where's it at? Oh no, not the thumbnail, not the thumbnail. Where's it at, y'all? Hold up. Projects. There we go, baby. Where's it at? Oh, I just pulled it up. Okay, my fault. Okay, there we go. So we do remember this presentation, right? Ways to series scale, AP durability. All right. Hold up. Okay. This is funny because that looked eerily similar to my ways to series scale video. So the power system, right? Performance-based feats and narrative implications, right? It looked like his was based off of what did he quantitative scaling. Okay. I'm trying not to watch the entire video yet. I'll definitely check him out though. Narrative scaling, quantitative scaling, and scaling. Okay, scaling higher. So he has 2, but I had 3. But very interesting. Good for him. Good for him. I'm gonna keep this up here because I'm gonna check him out. Mirai, Kurenai, and Asuma's daughter used a hand sign on the guy who was facing away from her. In a full sprint, he saw wood rise from the ground and blind him. All right, man. Cool. What's the chapter? What's the chapter? Looked at their blitz, compared, and it seems correct. We'll look at it. It's looking promising. Okay, yeah. Let's do some stuff. Let's do some stuff. Ah, okay. The units of the character pressure durability input must be in pascals. This is the pressure durability of a character, pressure which they can withstand, which is experiencing the attack. Vector Syntax would love this site. Nuclear-based explosion. Wow. He is a model for black holes? What in the hell? Interesting. Bullet time, reference speed, bullet time, gravity, movement speed. And he uses meters per second. Very nice. I like that. Blitz comparison. This is tough. So as long as we have the attack distance and a low-balled estimate speed, the defense distance and the speed of the defense, we can get a blitz ratio comparison. Interesting. Scream attack. Okay. Acoustic vibration attack. Non-contact impact, non-contact sustained impact. I'm gonna definitely use this. Oh, this will be a good reference for where I This can be a good reference for how I do some of my personal calcs. Though I'll have to get familiar with some of this terminology. Okay. This is dope though. In fact, hey, Kino, you don't need a gatekeep. Because once they take a look at this site, they're not going to put in the work. They're not going to do any of this stuff. They're too lazy. Most of them are going to be too accustomed and used to fast food, microwaved information, not knowing how to do your research, plug in the numbers, and then play. So shout out to him. I'll definitely be using this. Thank you for sharing this. Now, let me see real quick. I used to remember this dude and his scaling. Oh, really, Tom? Okay. What are you talking about, Kuribo? This literally addresses nothing versus RAS events. I already addressed events with the user's control. It doesn't. You need to prove that they can maintain constant control when every heartbeat generates Reiatsu nonstop. It's true. Narrative scaling is always the way to scale a character, period. Narrative scaling is always the way to scale a character, period. Ugh, I don't know about that, Tom. I think it has its place. I think it can be used. Always the way? I wouldn't say that. Naruto characters don't have something comparable to that. They kind of have narrative scaling. Like I said before, like I said in that video, we don't need to see Hagoromo necessarily do feats to know he's stronger than a Tsunade, a Might Guy, a regular. We don't need to see him do feats and stuff like that. Send a link to the website. Oh, I got you. Hold up. Kenpachi rap on my mind. I got you. We're going to check this out. All right. Where'd Shinigami go? Oh, this is Shinigami. Okay. All right. Trouble on my mind. I got trouble. Facts. If it wasn't, Okioto would be stronger than Aizen. He'd be stronger than Aizen to like dummies, though, Kino. That's what the problem is. There is no confirmed 128 kilometers between the Soul Palace. Oh, wait. There is confirmed 128 trillion kilometers between the Soul Palace and the Soul Society. Kubo loves Buddha symbolism, and he torched down in like 5 hours. Calc that. Like shit. I'm not going to do that. Well, first, a lot of calcs exist for that, But once I find the numbers, I can definitely plug it in, and we can maybe do a stream about that. That might be fun. Maybe I will do a stream about that one day. I'll get all the information that we can use the Calca feat, plug it into my man's generator, and see what it gets. Maybe we can do a stream about that one day. And that's well, like I said, people don't take interest when I bring this site up. Yeah, no, they're not going to do the work. They're not going to do the work. This site is way too advanced for TikTok. Yeah, no. No. This site is for people who are serious about scaling and that are 25 and older. And energy leakage is what you mean, Shinigami, because both parties have energy points in the wrist. Chakra control adjusts any potential leakage. Every cell in the body produces energy. Yeah, see, but the difference is, like, people aren't just passively giving off chakra. Like, it's not just leaking from their body. It's not just exuding from their body. That's not what's happening. The only time we've seen that is when Jirobo is actively stealing their chakra, and then we see it leaving from their body. But other than that, it's maintained within their bodies for the most part. Thanks, my man. I got you, bro. Anytime. Since when do Naruto characters have comparable wrist leakage thing? Yeah, no. Nah, I could plug those numbers into that site. Test it out real quick. I got you. All right, okay, so 128. Okay. 128 trillion kilometers, 5 hours. All right, let's see. I don't mind. That's funny as shit, though. He said, nah, could plug them numbers in. Let's see that. Let's see them numbers. Let's go. All right, where we at? Where is speed at? Did I miss? Am I missing speed? Energy, kinetic. Oh, might be in kinetic. All right. 128 trillion kilometers. What do I have to type in trillion? Okay, I do. Oh, I can't type. Oh, just meters? Okay. How many zeros is trillion? If a billion is 6, what is a trillion? Hold up. One, two, three. Okay, so it's 4 groups of zeros. Okay, so 128. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. And the distance, 5 hours. I think it was 8 hours. Was it 8 hours or 5 hours? Zach, was it 8 or 5? You must do everything in meters. Okay, yeah, I got you. That's in meters, so you gotta, okay, times it, you gotta time it by 1,000. You have to translate everything into what the website tells you. I got you. So wait, was it 5 hours though, or was it 8 hours? I thought it was 8 hours it took him. No. They said it would take him 8 hours. Did it take him 5 hours? Those trailers need to drop ASAP, otherwise the fandom is finna implode on itself. Let's say 8 hours for necessary minimums. Good idea. I like that. The units of the time it took the character to travel the distance must be in seconds. This does not account for bullet. Okay, so now I have to find the time of 8 hours in seconds. So 28800 seconds. All right. 8 hours is 28,800 seconds. Okay, cool. Now, is that everything we need? Okay, thank you, Zach. Hey, Zach, you want it, bro. You fast. Shit, let's see. Okay, movement speed, 4.444 E plus 9. All right. I have no idea what that number is. What is this number in speed? 4.444 E. Come on, plus 9. All right, let me ask ChatGPT. This thing is taking. This thing. Come on. Come on. All right, cool. All right. Okay, hold up. The number 14 is a scientific notation for 4.444 billion in terms of speed. This value significance depends entirely on the units being used, as it does not correspond to a single universal physical constant like the speed of light. Clock speed. The most common context where speed is expressed as 4.444 x 10 to the ninth power is in computing a processor with a clock speed of 4.444 gigahertz, I'm guessing. I don't know. GH4 or GHz, I'm guessing it's gigahertz, I don't know. Cycles per second. This is a standard frequency for modern high-performance CPUs, such as certain internal core or AMD Ryzen models. Step 2, conversion to standard physical speeds. If this number represents a physical velocity in common units, it results in the following. In meters per second. 4.44 times 10 to the ninth power meters per second is approximately 14.8 times the speed of light. Now, this depends on if that distance traveled, Zach, is true, though. I don't know. So where did you find this was the distance traveled? Because that's impressive. That would make Auswählen. Oh shit. So what if it took 1 second? Because Auswählen, let's lowball it. Let's say it took 3 seconds for Auswählen to get there. It's fine. It's fine. We'll keep it. We'll keep it to this for now. But that's interesting to think about. Okay, let me do this live so you guys can see it. By the way, because I was doing that all on my phone. Let's do it live though. Okay, so this one, okay, as a standard number, 444 e 10 to the 9th power, whatever, depending on the units, speed, 4,444,000,000,000 meters per second. Comparison, 14.8 times faster than the speed of light. Context, physically impossible for matter in our universe. Miles per hour. So in miles per hour, this would roughly be 6.6% the speed of light. Travel time, circles Earth 178 times every second. Damn. Kilometers per hour. Speed, yep. So in kilometers, this would be 4.1% the speed of light. Travel time, reaches the moon in about 5 minutes. Damn. Yeah. If that's true, Zach, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. This obviously not taking into account the bearers, right? Even light years must be translated to meters. Okay, got you. Convert that to light speed. Convert that to light speed? How do I convert it to light speed? Or I could have just, I guess. Is it already converted to light speed? I think it was already converted to light speed. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it did the conversions. All right. People lie about Kubo's words all the time. Holy Gunnerbait, and everyone in the fandom is eating that shit up like fish gobbling down fish food. Yep. You Naruto fans hate Bleach too much. Also, I recommend Grok. Man, I think Grok is terrible, bro. Most times. I recommend raw mathematical skill. You know, I'm not the one for raw mathematical skill. I will rely on every other source except my own raw mathematical skill. I was not the best at math. ChatGPT just be yapping. It do, but chat be more accurate than Grok in my opinion. But I'm really liking GenSpark right now. Google has an inbuilt translator for distance, time, joules, light years. Yes, it does. I like it. That's without taking into account the barriers, by the way. That is the speed of light. LOL. Wow. The speed of light is approximately 3 times 10 to the 8th. Damn, Tom. Chill out, Tom. You giving him too much, Tom? Shit. That means what it equals 14.8 times the speed of light. Did you do that in your head even before I did the calculation? That's crazy. Just so you know, Ab-Stract, I double checked, and that is the right number, 14.82. Damn, okay. So we need to find, is that the right distance? And I'm not doubting you, Zach. I'm not doubting you at all. But is that a necessary minimum correct distance? Is there any way we could, is that the low ball distance? Because I'll make a Bleach video tomorrow about light speed Bleach. I'll do it. Because this just upscales Mimi Hagi and the Australian as well as Yuha himself, right? It was in an old tweet from Kubo. He used to tweet random facts about the Bleach world. Oh, you gotta find it. You gotta find it. You gotta find it, bro. You gotta find it. Don't forget to multiply it by 10 times when Ichi goes into Bankai. Yeah. You just did. Okay. 14 point. Okay. Got you. You can search, for example, meters translated into light speed or... Got you. All good. We got that. Yeah, that number is suggesting that the Royal Palace is outside the atmosphere, which the series confirmed to not be true. Well, I mean, that's just assuming that the atmosphere has a limitation that goes into or beyond space, though, too, Kuribo. We can't just say, oh, because it's still in the atmosphere, it's not that far up. No, that wouldn't be the case. That would be presuming that the Royal Palace in the barriers are still within the plane or the area of, like, where normal Soul Society would be. Because you got to understand, how I'm thinking about these barriers, it's so the Royal Palace is a disconnected place. You cannot get there anyway, except for the means by which they get there, through the 10K, whatever, right? The barriers, though, don't allow for travel. And this is all in the Bleach Cosmology video, right? Because if you could have got there through the Garganta, Aizen could have just used the Garganta like Grimjaw did, but the barriers were down, which is why Grimjaw was probably able to use the Garganta. So this means when the barriers are down, you can travel to there with 3D movement. But if the barriers are up, you cannot travel through there with 3D movement. So it's likely that the barriers have an access point that is before you would get out of the atmosphere, but it would still look like you're in the atmosphere because you're entering a new area. So like if it was like a video game, before you got to outer space, you would hit another area that would take you completely past outer space or to a different section or area or whatever like that. So no, Kuribo, I don't think that would be, that wouldn't, like them still being in the atmosphere wouldn't presume that it's the case. Because what we're really doing is we're opening up another tunnel into another area. So it's space is out of the question at that point. I just sent you the rough calculation without ChatGPT for... Hey, Tom, where'd you send it, Tom? Oh, if that was the rough calculation in the speed of light, IS:C, approximately 3.00 times, if it was that doing it, yeah, that was fire. And very crazy if you did that by hand. It honestly would be a low ball. To my knowledge, that is the only figure we have for the distance. So people have been attempting to, people have attempted to get a minimum distance, and I'm not mad at using that distance, but there are calcs out there that have a minimum distance as well. We'll see though. We'll see. I can try. I'll look up into my spare time. Hopefully I can find it. I'll let you know if I do or don't. If I can't find it, then we're just going to avoid that calc for the sake of the fairness. Yeah, like yes and no. Yes and no. I just want a minimum that I can argue in good faith. Yeah. A Kubo tweet would be nice though. I even posted this website to a Reddit specifically dedicated to calc feats, and no one even batted an eye. Yeah, that's crazy. The fact you have to travel through very specific means while also having the Oaken to allow you through it makes it clear they are completely separate, and the Royal Palace is its own thing. Exactly. But that was dope. All right, guys, we're going to end it here now. We're going to listen to Zach's freestyle. Then I have to eat and get ready with my lady. All right, you can literally tell from my cadence that I was fucking wasted, LOL. All right, let's check it out. Oh, you know what? Last thing. Because I'm curious to know. Real quick. All right, because I'm curious to know who you guys would have between Kimimaro and Darui. So let's do that. Okay, where was I? Shitty got me, I forgot you were a Final Fantasy fan. It'll take a while to find it if I do. Kubo is very vocal on Twitter and often destroys Bleach haters. That's hilarious. Before ending the stream, congrats on 1.44 subs. Yes, sir. Let's go. Facts, bro. Facts. I appreciate that. It's a slow grind, but I think that's better, especially for someone like me. Here's the thing, too. While I would like more subs and stuff like that, I really do find it enjoying having people with common sense in the chat. And people with common sense watch my videos. I know if I get to a point where like I really do get extremely popular, I'm going to get a lot of fanatics. This isn't to disrespect anybody, right? But I don't need fanatics. I don't need fanatics giving their opinion. I need people who are going to be thinking, rational, and people that go through the series or a series with a certain amount of judiciousness and honesty. More subs is going to get more agenda scalers. And don't get me wrong, I'm cool with some of these people, but like we have different goals when it comes to scaling. We have different means when it comes to scaling. So as nice as it would be to have them, at the same time, I'm enjoying the slow, steady climb to, you know, where I'm going and stuff like that. But I appreciate that, bro. Definitely. I think Darui can win, but more often Kimimaro does. Okay, that's fair to say. That's fair to say, Kai. I'll be honest with you. I'm struggling to understand how Darui wins. I'm struggling. Like I said, though, maybe I'll have that at the end of the video, Darui versus Kimimaro, just to show how they stack up and to show how Kimimaro would stack up. I'm waiting for the song. Play the Kenny song before my freestyle. Okay, hold up. Okay, the Kenny song before the freestyle. Got you. We can do that. All right. So, if you guys don't know, Rotar is Zach, and Zach be sending me music sometimes. It'd be really funny. You had a good one before. Where was it? You had a good one. Yeah, I listened to this. Yeah, and then this was funny as shit. Coming soon to theaters. He said, "Yo, can you hear this image, bruh? Yes." That was funny though. But okay, let's get to the song. Different music. All right. What? What? You in the morgue and bored and get no? Hold up, man. Hold up. Oh nah, man. Hey Zach, you gotta chill, gang. I always default to the Chrome Kinpachi. Google it. That's fire, bro. Oh man. Wow. I get that like a 8.9 out of 10. I get that like an 8.9 out of 10. That was really good. That was extremely impressive. That was very good rapping. That was very good rapping. Oh man, I gotta show this to my twin brother. He's gonna appreciate this. That was fire. Okay. Now let's see the freestyle. Had to resend because my mom ain't raised no pussy. Show to the chat after the Kenny song for real. Make sure it is clear that I was blitzed out my mind. I got you. Listen, bro. As long as we know what you can do while you're not, inebriated, you'll be fine. That was heat, though. I always default to the Chrome Kinpachi. Google it. Yeah, no, that was disgusting. The Morgan Freeman bar, the Morgan Freeman bar was also good. Leaving you in the Morgan, you thought you'd be Freeman. Yeah, that was also fire. PO money sign is pretty good. Bro, not giving him 0.1 more is wild. Hey man, listen, listen, bro, listen. He can't get that 0.1. He can't get it. I'm not giving. I gotta hear more. I gotta hear more. Okay, this is just one. What if he can't reproduce this? I don't know. But he stopped though.
Yo, I stepped to the mic with my heart in my throat, already knowing that I'm about to choke. My flow was a joke, no rhythm, no timing. Bars so whack, they deserve 0 cosign. And I practiced for days, but it still sounds like trash. Voice cracking hard, sounding like I'm in class. Trying to do that double time, but I trip on my words. End up sounding slurred like I've been sipping on scissor. Punchlines miss harder than Shaq at the free throw. Crowd looking at me like, when this dude gonna go? I idolize Pac, but I sound like a clown. Metaphors mixed up, can't even hold it down. No pocket, no cadence, I'm all over the place. This verse about being trash, put a smile on your face. I can't sing a hook, my deliveries are weak. Whole career built on a shaky technique. Freestyling, man, I freeze up and stall. Mine goes blanker than a fresh white wall. Compared to the legends, I'm straight up pathetic. My swag on 0, energy synthetic. I'm the worst, but I'm still gonna admit it. 32 bars of me getting roasted, that's the gimmick. No one in my section, the stands stay empty. Haters don't even hate, they just feel bad for me. But fuck it, I'm here getting these terrible bars, praying that somebody relates from afar. I'm trash at this rap shit is painfully true. Still grabbing the mic every time I get blue. So laugh at this verse. Go ahead, get your giggles. My only talent's making bad raps feel official. Not a single one of these trash ass bar sticks, yo. But it's still better than Drake's Heart Part 6, though.
Hey yo, Zach, that was fire, bro. That was heat. Nah, hold up. That was heat, bro. That was heat. That was a good freestyle. That was a nice. I like that beat. Man, oh man. That was fun. I like both of those. Really good. I like how. So if that was a what's the word I'm trying to think of? God dang. My fault, yes. If that was like a written freestyle, that was very fun. I enjoyed that. If that was off the top, that was crazy. If that was off the top, that was crazy. I can't do that. I like to rap. I can't do that. Not for 1 minute and 50 seconds and be coherent and make sense. I can't do that. But that was a dope freestyle. I like that, bro. I did the beat and production myself. Okay, yeah, no, that was dope. That was fire. I can hear Dashi Games cooking up something like this 10 years ago. Oh, yeah. This reminds me of Easy Bag. I don't know who that is, Kuribo. All right, now who won the... Okay, so we have Kimimaro at 64%, Darui at 36%. So I'm glad we're all like... Or I'm glad most of us know what's up with that fight. Yeah. Yeah, glad most of us know what's up to this fight. But all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. That was really dope, though. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Zach, I appreciate you sharing those, sharing that video and then your freestyle. That was very fire, very dope. But we're going to get out of here. I got to record the Kimimaro video and go look for the suits for my groomsmen for the Liberia wedding. So you guys have a good one. Oh, Dr. Strangle, like I said, bro. Well, first, Kino, thank you for this power scaling model. Very dope. Going to be using that. Dr. Strangle, we will be looking at the legalistic argument against guidebooks. We will be doing that. I just have to find a, I'll fit it into a rotation of topics, probably. Or maybe it'll be, like I said, a whole stream. It looks extremely thorough. Can't wait to read it. But yeah, we're going to get into that too. I've never heard anyone approach the Naruto data books from a legalistic point of view. So that in itself is exciting. But yeah. You guys take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Don't think I'll be back live today. Maybe, slight chance, we'll see. But yeah. We out. 3 hours and 54 minutes. Should I do 4 hours? It's only 6 more minutes. Don't leave. Don't leave. Wait. Don't go anywhere. We have 6 more minutes. Let's round this off to 4 hours. Let's do it. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're still here. Okay, let me tell you guys about this bum Darui. Let me tell you guys about this bum Darui. But before that, let me tell you about this guy Kimimaro. I have a song to round it out. Well, we got 5 minutes left. So, real quick here. I just wanna note and point out that this guy has the best durability. That is, like, if your name isn't A Raikage, if your name isn't A Raikage, I'm sorry, if your name isn't third Raikage or fourth Raikage, he has the best durability. He not only runs through, so let's do this real quick. Because we got like 4 minutes left. Without giving away too much. Without giving away too much. Gar crushes him. Imploding sand funeral. See all the blood come out of him. He crawls through the sand, comes out of the sand, and is more or less fine. Gar could crush his skin, not his bones. That pressure was a feat. Without this layer I created underneath my skin, I would have been dead meat for sure. And let's make sure this is consistent with what the last one was. If it can load. When I watch my 2-minute YouTube short, we can do that too. I don't know why this isn't loading. Oh no. Don't tell me the connection timed out. Okay, anyways. And yet your sand won't catch me again. So he does sand tsunami. Gar catches him again, and then we get another sand burial attack. Kimimaro survives that one, then comes out as the demon. So the question for everyone here is, how much more durable did Kimimaro's skin get? To where he gets sand burialed again, then sand burialed one more time because Gar does it again, coughing and crushing sand. We saw his skin get exposed and destroyed during the first one. During this second one, Kimimaro is absolutely fine. His skin wasn't even injured at all. He's also running / walking out of Gar's sand burial. He's fine. Gar puts up a sand shield. Kimimaro just dashes right through it and hits Gata. Again, Kimimaro is fine. Look at him. He's fine. He then no-sells an attack from Lee. Casually kicks him with his tail. He's fine. Absolutely fine. This kid is stupid, bro. Why can't I connect to this? Anyways, let me check out Dr. Strangles, aka Acolyte's Epilogues. Short. And we got one more. We got one more Yamamoto song. Okay.
We also know that they're both official and authoritative. It's official because it's titled as such and officially published by Shueisha, the publisher and co-owner of the Naruto IP. It's authoritative because, as before, it's published by Shueisha and written by Kishimoto. Now, this might get some antennas up because there has been a lot of debate about this hot topic of discussion for a while now, but we know that it's authored by Kishimoto because he's credited as the author. Some will say that the authorship credit is in reference to his authorship of the manga, but that's just not the case. Kishimoto gets 2 credits on these data books, one as series creator and one as the author, with this credit being listed next to the copyright for the specific data book listing said credits. Kishimoto does have a team that helps him assemble these things, with them receiving credits for things like formatting, choosing fonts, etc., but he's the only person listed as the author of these. This is also consistent with Shueisha's publishing practices because there are works within the canon which he did not author, such as the majority of the Boruto manga, as well as certain novels, and in those cases, he's only credited as the series creator and or supervisor, while the correct author is listed as so. So to conclude,
it is trivially true that Masashi Kishimoto is the creator of the series, but author equals writer is an uninformed conflation. The author accreditation in the databooks are not in reference to the manga, but more precisely in
authorship of a work made in the course of duty. Article 15. For a work, except work of computer programming. Okay, so for a work that an employee of a corporation or other employers, hereinafter in this article, okay, refer to as a corporation. Okay. or other employers makes in the course of duty at the initiative of the corporation, etc., and that the corporation makes public as a work of its own authorship. The author is the corporation. Okay, so long as it is not stipulated otherwise in a contract, in employment rules, or elsewhere at the time the work is made. Okay.
Reference to the databooks and fanbooks being derivative works, in which were made at the behest of Kishimoto and or Shueisha, and in such cases the author is the employer unless stipulated otherwise in a contract. And no, this cannot be saved by appealing to the perceived publishing practices of Shueisha, as Sage does not compare the Japanese accreditation of the databooks to the Japanese accreditation page of the novels, or the English accreditation of the databooks to the English accreditation page of novels, but only compares the Japanese accreditation of the databooks to the English accreditation page of novels. Comparing the third databook, which is the only databook that has an official English release, to the raw Japanese third databook, the word author doesn't even appear on the English release when it does in the Japanese release. And comparing the Innocent Heart, demonic blood novel, to the raw Japanese Innocent Heart, demonic blood novel, the English does not use the word author, but the Japanese says author. Masatoshi Kusakabe and Masashi Kishimoto. Meaning that the actual practice of English accreditation is not to directly mention authorship, and the actual practice of the Japanese accreditation is credit authors even when they didn't write the material. This obviously doesn't completely discredit the databooks and fanbooks, but should put a big pause on trying to use them as the word of God when it comes to Naruto.
Wow. Hold on, let's hear that again, because I was reading some of that, but let me hear it in full context.
So to conclude,
it is trivially true that Masashi Kishimoto is the creator of the series, but author equals writer is an uninformed conflation. The author accreditation in the databooks are not in reference to the manga, but more precisely in reference to the databooks and fanbooks being derivative works, in which were made at the behest of Kishimoto and or Shueisha, and in such cases the author is the employer unless stipulated otherwise in a contract. And no, this cannot be saved by appealing to the perceived publishing practices of Shueisha, as Sage does not compare the Japanese accreditation of the databooks to the Japanese accreditation page of the novels, or the English accreditation of the databooks to the English accreditation page of novels, but only compares the Japanese accreditation of the databooks to the English accreditation page of novels. Comparing the third databook, which is the only databook that has an official English release, to the raw Japanese third databook, the word author doesn't even appear on the English release when it does in the Japanese release. And comparing the Innocent Heart, demonic blood novel, to the raw Japanese Innocent Heart, demonic blood novel, the English does not use the word author, but the Japanese says author. Masatoshi Kusakabe and Masashi Kishimoto. Meaning that the actual practice of English accreditation is not to directly mention authorship, and the actual practice of the Japanese accreditation is credit authors even when they didn't write the material.
Wow.
This obviously doesn't completely discredit the databooks and fanbooks, but should put a big pause on trying to use them as the word of God when it comes to Naruto.
Wow, okay. Very based. Those are a lot of good information was just pointed out to us just now too. So for one, how the two cultures accredit authorship is completely different. In Japanese culture, they'll write your name as a creditor, even if you didn't write, just to simply probably like give you, because they're humble people, so they'll give you credit even if you didn't do anything, which is kind of funny. Excuse me. Goddamn. All right. You know, that was fire. That got me more excited to read. Oh wait, I think you wanted me to watch this too. Oh yeah, I gotta watch this video because I never actually watched this video. I saw it in relation to something else. I seen clips. I never actually watched this video, so I gotta watch this video too. Ab-Stract, you wanna peep my Yamamoto song? Oh, peep the Yamamoto song. Yo, I thought the stream ended. You know, the stream did not end. We stayed. I'm sorry, Akino. We stayed. I wanted to round it off to 4 hours. All right. So what I'll do is this. For the Yama track, Zach, I'll start off the Yama track for next stream since it should be heat. I'll end it here now. I'll start off the Yamamoto track for next stream since it should be heat. And maybe our guy can get that 0.1 so we can round him off to a 9.0. Because the first song was fire. Your freestyle was fire. But I'll start off the Yama song for next stream. But you know, yeah, that was dope. But all right, y'all, this time for real. Now we out here. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll check in with y'all soon. Be on the lookout for the Kimimaro video. That should be really good. Oh, also, Bleach versus One Piece is still in the works. my editor Torres had his information was like corrupted or something like that, and he was like kind of kicked out of Fiverr, so he couldn't contact me. I couldn't contact him, but it's back into work, so be on the lookout for that too, guys. Y'all take it easy. I enjoyed y'all time fellowshipping with me. Have a good